Hi, you guys. Happy Saturday. Happy weekend for many of us. I was as a surveillance investigator for so many years, like the weekends really meant nothing because the weekends are the biggest surveillance times of the whole week. So it was never exciting, but now it is, I guess, because now I'm more of like on a normal schedule. Anyway, so I'm going to do my husband is off. Oh, yay. I'm so glad your mom loves it. Happy Saturday. My husband is off. He drove to Miami. We live in Tampa. He drove to Miami to pick up a new truck that he bought from this guy that he really liked. So I know, Allison, the podcast on Monday is going to be crazy. The part 2 of that story, insane. Anyways, my son and his friend are here. They are in the hot tub, kind of playing, swimming, whatever. And I need some self-care day. And I know that you guys really enjoy when I kind of show you all the things. So I wanted to show you before I take these lashes off. These have been on for over a week and I want to show you how I do it. So these are the Lashify lashes. If you want the link, the discount link for these, just comment like lashes or whatever. No, girl, it is no lap time. Hi, Tiffany. You guys, Nail Junkie 615, who's commenting, she does the custom press-ons. If you want custom press-ons, go see her. Give her code FREEDOM. She'll give you like a discount or whatever. And she does custom shape, whatever shape, style, size, whatever you want. So anyways, you see how like these have been on a week and you can see how there's like eyeshadow in them and it start to like, they'll stay on and I could probably like mash them and make them stay on longer. But by this time, I'm like, time to let them go, right? So one thing that you can do is if they're already falling off, if you kind of pull these right here from the base, it's not yanking your lashes. Like it's totally fine. And when I take these off, I have this is a Lashify like little storage container and it has a screw-on lid. And you can separate your lashes. So after you clean them, you can just put them back in there and that's how I store them. So this, you can do it however you want. But these are reusable. So I'll take this off and then I'll go and reuse them, clean them and reuse them several times and you really get your money's worth. But it doesn't pull like your actual lashes. Like they're very, very gentle, but somehow they stay on for 700 years. So I don't understand. But anyway, so you can do this right here and kind of lift from the bottom. They don't yank, they don't pull anything. They just come right off at the little spine. And then I'm going to reapply them and I'll show you how I reapply them because there's there's tutorials on the Lashify website that show you how to apply them. But in my opinion, it's better to see someone who's kind of just a normal person doing it instead of someone who's a pro, because then you're like, okay, that makes more sense. Because then when I mess it up, you can transparently see yeah, girl, I can't believe you haven't gotten contacts yet. See how they're just lifting off? They don't yank my lashes at all. So I think that's one thing I like about the glue is that it doesn't it's not concrete, but it will stay forever and ever. Amen. See how it has all the glue caked on there? I'll get that all taken off and get them washed and I'll be able to reuse these. See how you can they're real gentle. They don't yank or anything. It's just the gossamer. It's not your actual lashes. See, it just comes right off. That's what I love about these. Okay, so then I like to take this. Oh, that one on there pretty good. But see, if you lift it from where the glue actually is, it doesn't yank on your lashes. See, no lashes come with it. It's just the fake lash. So then I use this stuff. This is the Lashify Remove. This is the Melt Away. This is the stuff that I use to remove all the excess glue and all the gunk. And then I use this little, what do you call this? Little pad. You can use a makeup eraser. You can toilet paper, whatever you want. And I just kind of put some of that on there. And then I just gently kind of put this on my lids. Yeah, so Christy, when I take mine off, now I can kind of tell the difference, but I separate them. And so when I clean them, I know I put them in order. You can get one of those pads too. It's not a sticky pad, but it's that silicone-y. So things stick to it, but not glue, but just like kind of like adheres to it a little bit. And then when you go to wash them, you can just wash them size by size. And then when you put them back in your container, you see I labeled mine like the different sizes. So there's different options. There's different things that you can do. So I'm just using this melt away to kind of take off the excess glue and gunk. And it's really, really gentle. Stardust. Oh, I haven't heard of that one. Is that a Lashify one or is that a different brand? I've tried so many brands of lashes and I always, always, always come back to the Lashify. See how it just gently removes like all that excess gunk? And then you can just throw this in the washing machine. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. It's literally so, so easy. And then one thing that I like to do after that is take the... They don't make these anymore, but you can probably get these on Amazon. Just the oil X pads or whatever. This is an oil removing kind of situation so that when I go to put these back on, there's not a lot of excess oil on the lash so that they will actually adhere. So then I just come through with the oil removing and just make sure that it's squeaky clean right here along my lashes. And I recommend doing this with a clean face so that your makeup and moisturizers and all that don't interfere with your lash adhesive or with your lash application. So, I know I should get the pink. You know, I'm such a person of habit. Like, I usually get the EE, the extra extreme, and that's it. I have tried a lot of the other styles, but the ones I go back to are always the EE. All of the other styles are not, they're not voluminous enough. Plushy Tame. Oh, I've heard of the plushies. I've tried the... What are the ones that they say? They're the F. What's the ones that's F? I've tried those ones. Anyway, so now I'm just using this oil removing pad to get off. See, it's kind of picking up all the excess like gunk and glue and stuff. You can even go in with like soap and water and just like clean your lashes or whatever, but this is just as easy for me. So super clean face. And actually, while we're at it, you guys, I have an idea. If you are not doing this yet with your skin, get a tinkle razor and exfoliate your face. So my face is clean. There's no oils. There's no moisturizers or anything on it. I haven't done anything yet. Get one of these tinkle razors. You can get them at like Marshall's for like $3. I have them on my Amazon storefront if you want the link. But this is a great way to eliminate dead skin, like all the barrier between your makeup and your skin. It like gets rid of all of that. So if you just kind of come in and kind of shave your face basically and get off all there's epithelials and there's dead skin, there's dirt and grime and all of the peach fuzz and all the hairs. See all that? And you just kind of take that off your face. This is a great time to do. Look at that. All of that is the barrier that's between you cut yourself. The angle isn't, change the angle. Girl, be careful. Please don't cut yourself. And they have little ones too, so you can kind of get around your eyebrows and stuff in the smaller areas. But I really, I do this about once a month. Just whenever I can, really. Once a month or once every 2 or 3 weeks is fine. But probably once a month should be plenty. And then you just kind of go around your face and work out all the excess. This is a great way to exfoliate. Do you see all that? It's really crazy, like all the stuff that's on our skin that you don't realize. Even after you clean your skin and use the exfoliating like scrubs or whatever, this is a really great way to just eliminate all the excess. And you just kind of come in and look at that. Your makeup will sit much prettier. Look, it's not even there. It's right here. Your moisturizers, your creams, your serums, those will all like sink into your skin a little better too. You'll just notice it much more smooth. You do have to be kind of careful. So like, please don't slice your neck, but whatever. Be careful. But this is a really, 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 really great way to get rid of all that stuff. And I do it on completely dry skin, and then I come in with like oils and serums and moisture and all that stuff, and it just really does a number. And a lot of people think of you. I saved them in a case. Nolly gets a mat in her front. Oh, that's smart, Lucy. I didn't think about that. Yeah. I was watching TV and shaved off part of my eyebrow. Oh my God. Please be careful. Don't do that. Oh my God. Could you imagine? I shaved off part of my eyebrow. Some people think when you do this to your face that like the hair will grow back thicker, and it doesn't. Like, it's fine. That's like an old wives' tale. It doesn't. Look, I'll even do my mustache. Look, you see that? Like, it's fine. Just be careful. But look at all that gunk. And so if you notice that your makeup isn't really sitting super pretty on your skin, try to do this for exfoliation. And where's the little bitty ones? They have little baby ones, like this one for between your brows. This is a really great option for that. So don't be afraid to use these. Literally, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, whatever. It's fine. You can also go to your esthetician and ask for a dermaplane. They can dermaplane for you. It's probably better than doing it yourself, but ooh. I just like to do it at home. Look at all that. It's like I have like a man beard. Look at all of that. That's all this stuff on my skin. Ooh, I'm gonna have to vacuum today. And it just makes your skin like much smoother. Sorry, it was not my intention to shave my face on here. I was just going to show you guys the lashes, but I was like, you know what, while we're here. So, but it can be really satisfying. Have you guys ever sat and watched like the pressure washing videos? I love pressure washing videos. It's so satisfying. I think some people feel the same way about like cosmetic stuff. Look at all that. The boys are yelling at an airplane going by. We live right by the Amazon warehouse, and so there's an Amazon Prime plane that flies over my house several times a day. And so every day my son's like, just drop it. My mom probably ordered everything. Just open the bottom and like let the floodgates pour out. Like, it's really funny. What? I almost cut my face off. It's fine. Anyways, all of that gunk just like comes off of your face. And then this little baby, it's just a baby. I have a blemish right there, so we're going to try not to slice that open. And you just kind of come in these little areas. I have a little speck of the glue. There we go. Anyways, it doesn't have to be super perfect. It's just all of that like extra gunk is gone now, and it feels so good. And then you just trash these and just start again with a new one next time, like in a month, and just throw them right away. So easy. It's so inexpensive. And like I said, you can go to your esthetician and do it too, and just ask for the dermaplaning. But if you go there, also get like a hydrofacial. If you've never gotten a hydrofacial, do the hydrofacial. I think you'll love it. Yeah, I wouldn't reuse these. No, Amanda, you won't. Just use them. I use them once a month, and the hair does not grow back thicker or whatever. In fact, it doesn't. It seems to grow back lighter. Yeah, the dermaplane is really, really nice, but it is just like peach fuzz and like dead skin and stuff, and you can really get all of that off. The scalpel is crazy. I don't put anything on my skin before it. My skin is completely clean, completely dry, free of moisturizers, free of everything. And then I go in and do the moisturizing. I do it about once a month. Yeah, I actually, I'm about an hour from Lutz. Not far. It's not super far. Okay, so now I'm going to, oh, I have that, Amanda. That's a cool app. My husband just called. He's at, he went down to Miramar, which is like in Miami, to buy a truck, and he found a tag office that was like open today. And so he's there, and he got everything done, and it's really cool. Okay, so now that I've done the dermaplaning, right, I've gotten all that off my face. Now I'm going to go in with my moisturizer, which I wasn't going to do till after my lashes, but I'm going to go ahead and do it now just because we're here, and I need the moisture. And after this, it's usually at nighttime, and I would usually use, hey Vicky, I would normally use a facial oil, but today I'm just going to use moisturizer because I don't want to use oil during the day. But I use the Drunk Elephant. Love the Drunk Elephant products. I love the protein, the Lala, and the vitamin B, and I just put those together in a little cocktail. Love these together. No, the Instagram live changes my voice. I don't know why. It's weird, right? It's really weird. Instagram comes in and it like makes me sound like I'm going through puberty. She look like a man. Okay, but I'm going to avoid the eye cream right now just because I don't want to put anything super close to my lashes. So I'm going to do this, and now I'm going to apply my lashes. So you can see everything's kind of cleaned off my lashes. I look like, it's weird whenever I have my lashes on for a while and then I take them off and then I'm like, okay, I literally have no lashes. But I just really like the way the lashes look. I like the way they make me feel. Like when I wake up in the morning and I just like, boom, my lashes are on. So I just moisturized. Yes, Miss Swan from Saturday Night Live, or from Mad TV. That was the best. And Stuart was my absolute favorite character. Look what I could do. I used to do him all the time. It was so funny. Okay. See how see how much more hydrated and like how much more clean your face looks? It feels really, really good. Yes, look what I could do. Okay, so the very first thing you do when you do your lashes, so Lashify sends you, it's kind of the same as other places, but this is the one that I know. So if you're a Lashify girl, and if you want the link, the discount link, just comment lashes here and I'll make sure you get the discount link. No, Stuart was my husband's before I met my husband, so he already had that name. Just popping by to say hi. Hi! Okay, so this is what you use first. This is the mascara looking stuff. This is the Lashify Whisper Light Flexible Bond Double-Ended whatever. This stuff looks like mascara, but it's a glue, and this goes all over the lash. So I put this from root to tip. And just for full disclosure, I do not know if this is like the actual way to do it. Pasty Girl Official. Oh, I just got a package from you guys. I just opened it yesterday. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to try your stuff. So I kindly message you privately. I will kindly not message you privately. Anyway, so this stuff goes on your lashes from root to tip. I don't know if this is like the actual way you're supposed to apply it. I think it's like pretty much accurate. So definitely check the Lashify website yourself, but I think the way I do it really works because my lashes stay on forever and ever. They are comfortable and they always look great. So I think it's not like wrong. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've got to be doing something right. So try it this way, but also be sure to check the Lashify website. Okay. Sorry, fella. Because my husband will us both. Okay. So we are basically applying this glue like mascara. So this will get like tacky, and the way I describe it is like bug legs. Like, have you ever felt bug legs where they like spider legs where they like, they're sticky but not like glue, but it's just like a little tacky and they stick to you. That's how they walk, like upside down and stuff. Sorry, I think I just blew snot out of my nose. It's fine. Yeah, try the Lashify. Just comment, I think it's lashes, and I have it set up to send you the discount link. But I think there's even a sale right now. Like, I think you can get the whole control kit for like a huge discount and use the code, I think it's like Mackenzie Foltz at checkout or something. But I have a link for you. Anyways, okay. So this is the sticky kind of tacky, and this will stay. Stacy, let me know if that works, please. By the way, hi. So this is the tacky. They'll stay tacky for a little while, and they will like, it's not like concrete tacky. It's not like sticky, but you see how it just kind of stuck to those a little bit. It's just enough tacky, and you do not have to do this really fast. Like, this is something that will, they'll stay tacky for a little while. So just take your time. You don't have to rush through it. It doesn't like dry instantly. So I do the mascara side that looks like mascara, the glue, and then I use the white side. The white side is the stuff that looks like Elmer's glue, like the school glue that we used to eat off our hands, or that we used to like put all over our hands and peel. If you know, you know. And so anyways, we're going to use the, oh my gosh, that's so funny. Thank you. Okay, good. I'm glad the link worked. So comment lashes, and I have it. You guys, I cannot tell you, like, I feel like I have beat technology. Like, I feel like I beat Bowser in like the Mario game, because I figured out how to do the automation so I could have the links sent right away so that nobody had to wait for stuff. It's amazing. Okay, so this is the Elmer's glue look inside, and I just kind of do it right here against the waterline, like right where the spines of the lashes are going to sit. And I'm kind of generous with it. I don't know if you're supposed to use this much. I really don't know, but it works for me. And if you get it in your eye, like, it's fine. It doesn't burn. Like, probably don't put it in your eye, but like, I mean, if you can help it. But if you get it in your eye, which I've done 700,000 times, it's fine. So this is, see how it just looks like Elmer's glue, and I'm just putting it along here. So just along the waterline, which for me is messy, so it's getting everywhere, but it's fine. So this will dry clear. So that'll dry clear, and it won't show up against the black of the lashes or whatever. And you just kind of apply that there. Is it gross to look up somebody's eyeballs? I feel like it is, but it's fine. Listen, if you're here, there's no telling what's going to happen here. So if you're here, then welcome to my page. Like, if you don't, listen, I'm a boy mom. I eat off the floor because 5-second rule. Like, my life is full of farts and boogers, and so like nothing disgusts me anymore. So I don't know how to tell you. I'm just not phased. You're looking stupid. Do I look creepy? Okay, see how it's like the glue is there, but it's dry. Okay, so now, but it's fine. It's fine. This is fine. Everything's fine. Okay, so now I have my tackiness going on. Oh my God, the hot dog picture tops all of them. Okay, so this will get tacky, and it will continue to get like tackier. And then after like, I'd say 30 or 45 minutes or so, then it should be pretty well, not dry, but like kind of cured, I guess they call it. I don't know. Anyway, so you just kind of take your time and start with your lashes. Like, this is not something that has to be super crazy. You do not have to rush. You take your time. If you place a lash, you take it off and you just put it back. So easy. So this is my control kit. If the very first time you purchase a control kit, yours will have a mirror, and I think it might even have the light around it, but yours will look like this, and it'll have the spots for like your little, what do I call these? The clamper, the squeezers, like whatever. Anyways, so I take this style. This is EE for Extra Extreme 18. I use these on my outer corner. They look really long, but they're actually really not. And when I put them on, I was like, oh, like, this isn't so bad. I thought I would be like in Drag Queen City, but I wasn't. Like, and I was like, I don't know how they use those big lashes. Like, good for them. I can't do it. But anyway, so I just kind of hold the masher, the wand, use the masher and hold them kind of like this. And I think the big, oh, they have super short ones. Like, yeah, these are 18s. They have all the way down to, I think, 8 or 10 or something. Imagine you're feeding soup to underneath your eyelid. What have I done? Oh, I cut myself. See that? Imagine you are feeding soup to your eyelashes. So you just kind of take the spine and place it right there. I leave a couple lashes out on the outer corner so that it's not droopy. So even now you can see it's still like, not droopy, but it's still kind of on the corner, even though I left a bunch out. So leave a couple of those outer lashes out. I totally did nick myself. I slipped my throat. No. Have you ever seen the movie Major Pain, where he's talking about, he said, the only thing Charlie knows, slip your throat. And so now when I say like slit somebody's throat, it's slip your throat. Because I'm stupid. I just found your podcast thank you so much for listening to the podcast. Did you hear the episode where the mom gets with the wife's husband? The mom. Okay, stand by. Not this past Monday, but the Monday before that, we released an episode where a woman's mom was sleeping with the woman's husband. It was wild. It was so crazy. If you're not a listener of the Dating Detectives, go freaking listen. Like, since episode 1, we're almost a year into these episodes. You guys need to go listen. There's crazier stories on the Patreon. The Patreon's $5 a month. And so if you're a Patreoner, you get like 2 bonus episodes a month. I also share some of my PI stories. Like, they're called Mackenzie Undercover. It's called The Dating Detectives. Anyways, okay, so you see how I put that kind of on the end, but look how it's close to my waterline, but it's not on my waterline. If that lash touches that waterline, it will be so uncomfortable. So just make sure that it's you'll feel it. You'll know that it's too close because you'll be able to feel it. If you can't feel it, it's probably perfect. And then if you don't like the placement of it or it places crooked, you just take it off and put it back on. So the what do you call it? The lash itself, you can take it off, put it back on, arrange it, whatever. So these don't fuse together until you mash them with this masher. So the masher just puts them on for now. Yeah, it's just Dating Detectives Podcast is our Instagram. The podcast is so wild. And what's crazy is that like we get the craziest people writing in, sharing their stories. And now so many people are like, they're hearing these stories and they're going like, oh my gosh, like I think I know that guy. And so more people are writing into the podcast with the same experience, with the same like person. And we're like, no way. And so there's the OnlyFans pimp, the episode, the part 2 is airing tomorrow. The first episode was last Monday. The second episode with the second girl is Monday. And the one thing in life that if you can't feel, it's really okay. Yes, it's okay. No, we're not doing video podcasts right now. Right now it's only the podcast, but we do try to do like little clips and post them and stuff. But we are managed by Spotify. So we have a manager directly because we are one of the top growing podcasts on Spotify and on all the apps really, but Spotify picked us up and they said, hey, listen, we want to give you a designated manager. So they gave us a manager who actually like does all of those things for us, and they're working on getting us like into the video and everything. So that's going to be really cool. So we'll have the video pod and everything. But I think what's crazy is when we record, see how I touched that and I didn't like it, so I picked it up and I'm going to try it again. When we record, you should see me and Hannah are on, we're on video chat and our faces are hilarious. It's crazy. And we're just like, dude, there's no way that's happening. Okay, so this one I'm just placing right next to the other one. And you see, I'm just kind of taking my time. Like, I'm not rushing through it. It's just, you can totally take your time, place them where you want them. So they're side by side. Oh, my thing's on a timer and I don't know how to turn it off. Okay. Yeah, so if you're not listening to the Dating Detectives, most women are true crime girlies because we really like the drama that's not ours. But anyways, what I was saying was now I'm going to use EE 17. So 18, 18, 17. So I'm going down. I'm going to kind of go down in size. A lot of women are reaching out to us, and I say women, the podcast is for anyone, but it's just a lot of women that reach out mostly. And they're like, you have no idea how like listening to your podcast reminded me to like trust my femtuition. And I recognized it immediately because we talk a lot about like gaslighting and narcissism and things like that on the podcast. And so a lot of women are reaching out going, I'm recognizing based on the stories that you guys are sharing, I'm recognizing these behaviors or whatever in this guy that I'm seeing. And I was able to, recognize and whatever. Stacy, Sword and Scale. Stacy, have you been listening to Sword and Scale since the beginning? If you listen to episode, I want to say episode 7 or episode 12, like one of the very first episodes, they talk about how they kidnapped babies and they were like toddlers and they were cutting them up and eating them. And there was like a whole like dark web, like black dark web talking about it. Oh my God. It was Sword and Scale is a crazy podcast. I love Sword and Scale. Like he does not hold back when he tells those stories. If you're any amount into true crime, go listen to Sword and Scale. You'll be like, holy crap. Sword and Scale is legit. And he's like, what I love about Sword and Scale is like, he does not care. Like if you're sensitive to it, and people are like, oh, like this is not a story you should tell. He's like, then don't listen. I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, like he talks about how like people would, like find, like for instance trailer parks, and they would find like, or anything that's like lower income where the parents aren't really paying attention to the kids or whatever, where like they have babies in like outside in the front yard in like a playpen or something, and they would prey on those particular families, and they would go in, steal the baby, and they would talk about how they would like, once they kidnapped the baby, they would like hold them on their lap and squeeze the baby until the eyes of the baby started to like pop out of their head a little bit, and how they like really enjoyed watching that. It was like a whole dark whole web of it, and it was insane. And this is why I'm such a like psychopath mom, because everybody's like, oh, you need to, you don't need to worry about that stuff. Like that's never going to happen. Like, I don't give a crap who you are. I have been in the criminal justice world long enough. Like I have a criminal justice degree. Like I studied this stuff. I said case studies of like abductions and stuff like that. And you think that's why my son is like 100% like my son, when he goes into the mall, ever since he could walk, I'm like, situational awareness. Your head needs to be on a swivel. You need to know who's around you, what's going on. You need to know what every single person around you is wearing, who's behind you, who's in front of you. And so this is like, it's called that podcast is called Sword and Scale. So that's like a legit, like crazy true crime, like podcast. My podcast is The Dating Detectives. We call it like True Crime Light. It's more about like conning and lying and in the dating world and like in relationships and, catfishing, dogfishing, stuff like that. Yeah, your head is on a swivel. Like my son is 9 years old and he knows exactly what to do if someone were to come up to him, if someone were to approach him, the minute you feel like you don't know this person and they are in your bubble, he knows. Like I tell him, I'm like, he knows all the swear words, and I say, you say all of those swear words, scream them as loud as you can, and start screaming like a wild freaking banshee, like go nuts. And he knows to just start kicking and punching and screaming and making like he knows not to listen to strangers. Like this boy knows literally. It's sad that we have to do that, but we do, because people are freaking crazy. Okay, I want to show you this. You see how this one is touching that water line? I can feel it, right? So I'm gonna lift it off gently. It's probably because I'm talking and I can't shut up. I'm gonna lift it off gently and just replace it. These are really, really easy. You don't have to worry about it if it's in the wrong place. Just pick it up and put it back. It's totally fine. See, these I can't feel. So this one, I'm going to come out from the water line a little bit. There we go. See how that one's not on the water line? That's better. See how they're not touching the water line as much? Yeah, much, much better. And then they're just really comfortable. And you see how I have like the 18 and the 18, and then I went down to 17 and 16. So now it's like this they kind of go like at the longest and then they kind of go down. Some people put the longest ones in the middle and then the shortest ones on the corners. Like it's totally preference, but this is the way I like to do it. These are from Lashify. These are I have a discount link. Just comment lashes and I have it set up to send you the link for the Lashify. And then if you have any questions, you can just like message me or whatever, but, just comment lashes and it'll send to you. So it'll give you a discount on the control kit, but I think they're on sale right now too. So it's probably a good time to take advantage of them. But anyways, yeah, so I'm like a true crime junkie. Like it's so bad. Like I'm addicted to, not addicted, like anything murder, anything crime, anything investigative. Obviously, I'm a private investigator. So like the true crime space is literally where my brain lives. And so I love, like, I'm a big supporter of law enforcement and our, you know, like first responders and, you know, all of the, like, all of that stuff. I'm obsessed with it. And I feel like it's so important to know what's going on around you, because a lot of us think of like, you hear the stories, there's like an Amber Alert, right? And you think of like, sometimes you're just like, oh, okay, it's an Amber Alert, and you just ignore it on your phone, right? But those are legit. Like those help people find like missing kids or whatever. And so I'm like, okay, who is this person? Where did they go? And like, I'm obsessed. It's crazy. But my podcast is not that deep. Like it's true crime light. It's just, con men, like scandals, fraud, stuff like that. Okay, so this is one eye. So I do 4 gossamers or 4 lashes, and they're about this wide, and you can get them as short or as long as you want. And they just kind of, you decide like where they go on your eye and like what style you want. But look at the difference. Isn't that crazy? I love how pretty I just feel. Yeah, you know what? It's interesting that you say that about getting burned out on true crime, because it's really true. Like you really do get burned out, or you can. And so if you think about, that's one thing that I think, one reason that, well, my whole family is law enforcement. So like my dad died as a lieutenant in the drop for retirement from the sheriff's office. Like he was like right there. So anyways, I kind of grew up, you know, surrounded by law enforcement. So that's one reason. But also, if you think about it, like if you live your whole life surrounded by like just crime and misery and all of that stuff, like, can you imagine what that must do for like your mental state, your heart, and not to mention like, you know, your marriage, and like it can take a toll on you. And I'm a private investigator, and these stories have taken a toll. Like some of the things that I've experienced and witnessed have, like, I've been ripped out of my car and beaten down. Like I've been in situations where like I've almost died. And so like it can take a toll on you, and I to this day I do not trust anybody. Even when my husband comes home with like flowers, I'm like, what did you do? Like, what's wrong? I do not trust people, and I think it's because of this job. So I'm going back and forth between true crime and lashes. I hope you can keep up because my ADHD is doing just fine. These will last me about like almost 2 weeks, but the ones I just took off, I had on for over a week, and I was just ready. You could see that they were like, they had like eyeshadow in them. And so I was just ready for new. So here's another one. I'm going to start outer corner. Oh, sorry. And I'm just leaving some lashes out and putting that there. See how I'm leaving those lashes out? That'll help to make your eye not droopy. So don't go to the very last lash. I mean, unless you want to. Like, listen, this is your weekend too. Like, do whatever you want. I don't go to the last lash because I don't want it to be too super droopy. So I just like it to kind of be up a little bit. But your eye shape might be different too. You might be able to handle that. So EE18 again. The boys are swimming. There ain't a lick of sunshine out. It is too cold for that. I used to love true crime, but after a traumatic experience of my daughter's birth, I literally couldn't handle anything like that. Wow. Destiny, I'm so sorry that happened. Like, it's amazing how things in our life can trigger like how we respond to other things. It's really crazy to me. But there's like, with the Dating Detectives podcast, like I had no idea where the podcast was going to go. Like we kind of decided a little bit on a format, but weren't really sure. Like we weren't really certain. And then when people started telling us their stories and we're like, wait, this happens this much. And then it was like, okay, we need to stand on this platform and support these women and these people in general. It's more women, but it's men too. These people that are experiencing these things that other people are doing to them. It's just crazy. Okay, right on the lash line, right next to the other one. So these are like kind of, it's just how, you know how a fuzzy catches your eyelash and it'll just like sit there and kind of cling on to it. It's not like mashed down real tight, but it's just kind of hanging on there and it doesn't move. That's what these are doing right now. So these are kind of hanging on to that adhesive, and then I'll mash them with the masher and then they'll like fuse. You can overlap these. I do one layer like side by side by side by side, but then if you want them even more voluminous and you want to add more, you can go in and stack them and like brick lay. So then you would do like a one lash in between the two, one lash in between, and then kind of create like this bricklaying kind of pattern. We have so many stories that could be zingers on the podcast. I just thought about writing a book, but my husband doesn't love the idea. Bless his heart. It's interesting. Like, I just love that so many people can share their story. And now, like, there's so many platforms now where you can share. And it's just, for the last 2 years, ever since starting with makeup and starting on social media and doing the podcast, like, you do not realize how many ears you are reaching, how many minds you are touching, how many hearts you are touching. And like, there are people that you can really, really help. And it's just incredible to me. Like, having all these platforms like podcasts and stuff is really cool. Thank you, Bristy. I want to make sure I don't miss anything. What? No. Okay. Why? Okay. They're swimming in the pool. Okay. So, 18. Now I'm going to go back to my 17s. And then as soon as you like see how this is like a set of them and this is the last one, then you just throw this away and just replace it or whatever. It's kind of nice. Oh, Amanda, I love it. I love online stuff because we can like hang out without actually hanging out, and we can all hang out like in our jammies. Like, we don't have to put a bra on. Like, we can just hang out. You know what I mean? Okay. So feed soup to your lash. Just boop underneath. I'm going to lift this up so I can show you, but it just boop right underneath. See how you can still see the root of my lash? Like, barely right there. That's how far away I want it from the water line. Just enough so that it doesn't touch the water line. It'll be more comfortable for you the further away it is, but obviously you don't want it too far because then it's too heavy on the whatever. I'm sitting in a towel. Thank you. See what I'm saying? Yeah, it is like a girl's day. Thank you. I didn't want to make the podcast like all about my PI stories. Number one, because eventually I'm going to run out of PI stories. I can tell you the craziest stories, but there's like, eventually it's not going to be fun anymore. And so that's why I appreciate that other people share their stories with us. But also I'll be honest with you, like, a lot of my surveillance stories are just not interesting. Like, well, I thought that about all of them, but, like, if I go do surveillance on someone and nothing happens, like, what kind of story does that make? None. And that's like a majority of my job, right? These crazy stories that you guys hear, like, it makes people think, gosh, this is all she does like every day. No, this is like 100 stories over the course of like 18 years. Like, you know what I mean? So think about it that way. Like, these are not like day after day after day. This is like one here, 3 months later. How long do they last? Actually, so these last me about a week and a half. And then by that time, they'll stay on longer. Like, they will stay on. I have to physically take them off because at that time there's like eyeshadow and makeup in there and all that stuff. If you can get them wet, but I don't recommend it. But I wash my face twice a day also, morning and night. And it's totally like, it's fine. I don't really get them wet. And when I'm in the shower, even when I wash my hair, I just don't let the water drip on them. So I don't recommend getting them wet. But if you do every once in a while, it's okay. But I will say that if with the skin thing, and you did not ask me, this is totally unsolicited advice, so you can tell me to take a hike, get bent, F off, whatever you want. But if your skin is super oily, have you tried moisturizing more and washing less? Only because I noticed that a lot of people, when their skin is oily, and this is just from my knowledge and experience, I don't know your skin, but If your skin is super oily, it could be because as we wash, you just you're washing the oils away. So when it's really oily, add moisture instead of washing it off and see if that makes a difference. And over like a week to 2 week period, you might see a difference with that. Just you didn't ask for my advice, so I'm really sorry if I offend you, but it's just something I know. Okay, so here's the smallest one, the EE16. Boom, right there. Okay, so this is my lashes after I'm done with them, right? And they're just kind of hanging on there by a thread, like they're just kind of stuck to there. They're just kind of stuck to there. Oh, the cystic acne is so bad. Go to a dermatologist and definitely see an esthetician too, because they can recommend some really good treatments for you. I mean, they could probably both work together, like your esthetician and your dermatologist. But there was a company that, was wanting to sponsor, they bought an ad on the podcast, and it was called Apostrophe, and they do like prescription face wash and stuff, like specific to what you need. So you tell them oily or dry, you tell them you have like cystic acne, and they will give you a prescription for exactly what you need, like tretinoin or whatever specific to you. And it was really affordable. So if you want to try Apostrophe, let me know. And I can try to find our code. I think it's like the company name /TDD for the dating. I'm not sure, but if you want that, just message me and I'll be sure to get that to you. Okay, so now these are sitting on here. Oh God, they're swimming. It's freezing out. It's fine. Okay, so these are my lashes. Now I'm going to use the masher and I'm going to mash them. This is shaped in a way where you can kind of mash here. Like it's shaped so that you can mash it and it sits over your nose. I don't do it that way. I don't like it that way. I can never, it's not working. So what I do is I just take the back side of this, and you can put the little silicone wandum, like condom, but wandum because it's a wand or whatever. Anyways, you can put that on there, but I just use it just like this. And I come here and come to the spine and just squeeze it right where the spine is. See how I'm just kind of squeezing? So we're just going to mash those together. So this is fusing now that everything's exactly where I want it. Before you fuse it, make sure everything's exactly where you want it, because before you fuse it, you can lift it off and put it back. And so once you fuse it together, mine does too. It sticks to it, but then you just gently pull it off. So it's like, it's not concrete, like, and they would come off like real easily if you just pulled them, but somehow they stay on for weeks and weeks. And I sleep like this in all kinds of weird, funny ways, and it's fine. So I just go through and just like mash them. And then, so after I mash them, then I use there's like a waterproof sealer, there's a night bond sealer, and I use all of that. When you go through the car wash with a rear wiper, I call the baggie they put over the wiper a wiper condom. Wait a minute. I have so many questions about that. When you go through a car wash, there's a condom for the back wiper? I've never seen that. What freaking state do you live in? Where do they have condoms for the back wiper? That is I've never even heard of that. I'm dying. We're going to go to the Google machine. Like, I totally have to Google that. Okay, see how I'm just like squeezing the top and bottom? Just Pennsylvania. I've never been to Pennsylvania, but here in Florida, we don't do that. We don't have that. We always get ours taped down. What? I've never heard. I just go through the washer all willy-nilly, and my back wiper is just chilling. It's fine. Lord, I'm going to request the condom next time I go to I'm going to be like, can I have a rear wiper condom? And I'm going to hear, I live in a small town where these folks don't even wear shoes to the Walmart. And he's going to be like, I'm sorry, you said a wiper condom? And I'm going to be like, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to need a picture, 100%. We need to talk about these rear wiper condoms. I love it. Oh, okay. So Tiffany, you missed that we were talking about, somebody said when you go through a car wash, they put like a little baggie over your rear wiper, and she calls it a rear wiper condom. They probably charge you 8 cents for the bag. And I was like, I've never heard of a rear wiper condom. Also, you guys, just to let you know, I'm an emotional girl. Like, I'm pretty emotional. And a lot of people might not know this about, like, do you think that people that have, like, a big following, they got this great life, right? Like, sometimes people are not very nice, and sometimes things go wrong, and it gets you a little emotional, and it can be lonely, right? And so I'm a crier. Like, I'm someone who cries, like, excuse me, when I'm mad, when I'm angry, when I'm sad, whatever it is, like when I'm lonely, whatever. I don't like punch holes in walls and like throw dishes. Like, I just cry. That's what I do. And so I do some crying in my lashes, and they stay on. So I don't know if that helps any of you as far as like how waterproof is it, but I cry. Like, that's my outlet. That's how I release stress. That's how I like express myself. That's how I show like joy and happiness and sadness and all the things. I just cry. And so my lashes see some tears, and I don't know, that's just a little tidbit about me is I'm a crier. I'm a Cancer. Any Cancers in here? Cancer? Cancers cry. It's what we do. Yeah. I think that crying can be really healthy, right? Like, it's how I get it out. Like, it's how it comes out, and I just like, I don't know. It's just how it bees. It bees like that sometimes. Yeah, and like, please say hi, Took. How am I saying that? Water sign. I'm also a crier, but a Scorpio. My mom's a Scorpio. She doesn't cry. Like, she does everything she can not to cry. I got teary seeing the new preview of NCIS with Ducky characters. Oh, Ducky dies? My husband is a Cancer. He cries more than me. Oh, I love that. My husband does not cry. My husband did not cry when I walked down the aisle. My husband does not cry at all whatsoever. But I've seen him cry twice now. And the one time, well, hold on. Every time there's a dog on a TV screen where they're singing "In the Arms of the," right? Like, he's crying. Marley and Me, like movies like that, whatever. Like, he cries when there's a dog, like 100%. Seeing his wife walk down the aisle and they're the most important day of his life, he doesn't give a crap, right? Whatever. And then he cried whenever I gave him the money yesterday to buy his truck. And I was just, because he was going to go, he went down to Miami, and he's like, no one's ever just like done anything for me before. Like, he was really emotional, and that's it. But other than that, I've never seen my husband cry. And like, he's an Aquarius. You're a Taurus. Tiffany's a Taurus. She said she cries in the shower. She's my friend Tiffany, Nail Junkie, the one who does these, the one that's commenting. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I interrupt you? She's not someone who I've ever seen cry, but she's like a silent crier. Okay. So these are my Lashify lashes. Look. You see how I just placed them? I took my time. Obviously, like, I talk a little bit way too much, but it's fine. Don't judge me. And so I was able to kind of like talk, and mine didn't cry at our wedding. He cries at every other wedding. I love him so much. I bet he gets picked on for that. Anyway, so I just kind of take my time. I place them where they go, and I use this is the Lashify lashes, and I use the Whisper Light Flexible Bond. So comment lashes here, and then it'll send you I have it set up to automatically send you the discount link. So you get a control kit, right? And when you buy your control kit, which I think they're on sale right now, but I think you can still use my discount on top of it, on top of the sale. I'm pretty sure. I think that's one of my makeup customers told me that. Anyway, so then you get your control kit, and you choose like between A, which is B is bold. Oh, A is amplify, B is bold, and C is curl. So you choose, I think, between one of those, but then you can also add more, but you start there. And then from there, you decide like what sizes you want to add or whatever. And so I have magnetic. No, I tried to do the magnetic ones and I could not. Like, it kept sticking to the tweezer, and it was, I can't. I just stick to these. These are the Lashify. It just says the glue. This has the mascara. Ooh. The mascara looking glue, right? And then it has the Elmer's glue looking glue, like the legit glue that we used to use in elementary school. That's what it reminds me of. I use those two. Then I put on my lashes. Then I use this. So there's this Night Bond sealer, which is like an eyeliner. And I put this on top of my lashes. Like I could probably do it now, but I usually wait until it's a little bit more dry. But I just kind of come here and just kind of apply that like an adhesive. Alternatively, you can lay this next to your eyelid and just make it like an eyeliner. How long does the glue last? Like, how often can you use it? Like, my lashes last for like almost 2 weeks usually. And then I'm ready to switch them out. But a tube of glue, I do mine every week and a half to 2 weeks, and I'll go through a tube of glue in, I guess, like 4 or 5 months. Like, it'll last you a while. There's a lot. How do they hold washing your face or sweating? Oh, so whenever I wash my face, you guys, I use, you know, the makeup eraser cloths. They're like the little square makeup erasers. I love those. And I use the Peach and Lily Ginger Makeup Melt. Put some into my hands dry, like no water. And I put the makeup melt all over my face to take off my makeup. I don't touch my eyes. I just go in with the makeup eraser and just kind of like with the warm water, and I wipe off the makeup eraser, the makeup melt stuff, and I just take it off. And then I just kind of come real close on my eyelids like this. And then I do the same thing with my cleanser. So like then after I get all the makeup remover off my skin and I wipe it off, I rinse off my makeup eraser cloth, and then I use the Benefit Pore Clearing Cleanser. It's my favorite cleanser, and I kind of like suds it up, put it all over my face, right? And again, right here on my lids. Use the makeup cloth again, so makeup remover and then the cleanser, and I'm really careful around my lids. And then when I want to do my lash line, I use this. This is my micellar water, and it's just a really gentle way to clean your lashes without lifting the glue. And so I just use a black Q-tip because it doesn't leave the fuzzies. And I just kind of clean like eyeliner and eyeshadow right off of my lash line. And I just kind of scrape the top of my lashes with that micellar water. And that's how I clean my face. My whole face gets clean. I've never had any issues with anything crazy. So yeah, they really don't dry out. They do pretty good. Like you'll get a lot of use out of these. And then you just get whatever you want after. So there's like, this is a pre-cleanse stuff I think this is similar to the Oil X. They don't have these anymore, like the oil removing pads, but you can get this pre-cleanse and just like kind of prep your lashes for that. And then there's the charcoal Q-tips. Get a package of those. You'll love those. They're really good too. Drunk Elephant. I love Drunk Elephant everything. Like Drunk Elephant is expensive, but man, it's my everything. Like they don't have those extra ingredients, and I feel like I can tell. I don't know. It's just, I think because it's not loaded with like rosy fragrances and all of that stuff. Like it's just, it smells like not like they're trying too hard. Do you know what I mean? Like there's no additives and like sulfates and like whatever makes the fragrances, there's none of that. Like some of it doesn't, like it doesn't smell bad, but some of it just really has no scent. But I really prefer that. So in the morning I use the Proteini, the La Retro, and the B Hydra. So this is the protein, the ceramides, and the vitamin B for my skin. My skin loves it. I have never found another combo where my skin, like it doesn't, like it doesn't feel weird after. Like, no, this isn't Seint. You can get these at Ulta. This is totally separate. Seint has a skincare. I didn't care for Seint's cleanser and the toner. The lash cleaners. No, that's all Lashify. But I love Seint makeup, as you guys know. Like I'm obsessed with the Seint makeup. But I feel like I will totally always be transparent about what I don't like about the stuff that I use. Seint's cleanser and toner, it was too gentle for me, but I do like the Refresh wipes. So if you're doing your lashes or you're someone who's lazy and you're not good at like washing your face, get the Refresh wipes. These are kind of expensive too, but they have the skincare and the toner in them, and they're very moisturizing and hydrating, and my skin looks a hell of a lot different. So if you're someone who has like rosacea, psoriasis, eczema, stuff like that, a lot of my customers with those like acne, problematic skin, they really like the cleanser. It was too gentle for me. Like I like something that suds and feels really clean, so that stuff was too gentle. But in here it has the makeup remover with it, and it just feels so good. Your skin will love it. And then the Seint cream for nighttime. So that's kind of what I do for my skin. I'll make a video that kind of shows like my whole skincare routine or whatever, but it's just a combo that I found that works amazing with my skin. And look, I don't even break out that much during my period, except this little guy. He was just like, hi, I'm here. And then I had this guy, but he went away. So like even during my period, my face doesn't break out as much anymore. And I think that's partly due to the hydration and the makeup. Like the makeup itself is very hydrating. So I don't know. It works for me. Oh, you telling me I'm done? So anyways, okay. So that's how I do my lashes. And then because it's a me day, I also want to do my hair. Like I need to curl my hair. So I have extensions, right? I had the 18-inch extensions, and then I switched to the 22-inch extensions because I wanted like longer hair. So pretty. I have fine lines and period breakouts. It is obnoxious. Do you use the Seint makeup? The Seint makeup the reason I love the Seint makeup is because it has beeswax in it, and beeswax doesn't clog your pores, and it's notoriously known for, beeswax is notoriously known for healing the skin and eliminating some of those, the problematic skin issues that we encounter, especially as women. Men too, but especially as women, because hello, periods. Those breakouts are awful. Those breakouts are mean to us. Anyway, so I got these 22-inch extensions, right? And they're really, really long, but right here, I'm really self-conscious about this because my hair right here will not grow because it's like broken, it's blonde, it's damaged, it's whatever. So the only time my hair really looks great is when like it's curled and this kind of all blends in together, so you really can't tell. So that's why I really love having my hair curled. Plus I just think it's really pretty too. But so one of the hairstylists, when I got my hair done last time, she said if you curl your hair in like different directions, it creates this really pretty like mermaid look, which was really gorgeous. But I started using this different curling iron, and I really, really liked it. Like it's doing a good job. So if you have long hair, this is a really great way to curl your hair. So I'm going to do that real quick, and then I want to do my makeup. I'm using this, my favorite heat protector is this one. This is I keep interrupting my dog. The Bumble & Bumble Heat Shield Thermal Protection Mist. I love this stuff. It smells amazing. And the Bumble & Bumble is another one that's a little bit pricey, but I have not been able to find a drugstore dupe for it. I did find a drugstore dupe for the Milk Hydro Primer, and that's the e.l.f. Power Grip. So believe me, I promise I'm looking for like drugstore dupes that are a little less expensive, but so far I have trouble finding them. And then this is the oil that I love, the Bumble & Bumble Bond Building Repair Oil Serum. Hey Rye, can you go in and check on the dogs and see why they're barking? Thank you. Yeah, the e.l.f. Power Grip is really, really good. Yes, is it Amica or Amica? I'm not sure, but I have their anti-humidity spray because Florida, and their extended clean dry shampoo, and their stuff smells really good too. No, they're not. They're sewn in, so they're just kind of like, see, they're little like sewn in wefts. That's how but I found myself really self-conscious about my hair because I lost a whole lot of weight, right? And when I lost weight, I lost a bunch of hair. Like my hair started. I had gastric sleeve in October of 2020, and because of the rapid weight loss and the lack of nutrients, you really do lose your hair. And so it was just something that made me really self-conscious. So when I became a Seint artist and started showing up online, I was just noticing how self-conscious I was, and I felt really ugly. And so I was like, what? No, there's a package. Go get it. I'm literally looking at the camera. Jewel! My dog is literally 2 pounds. Who's she gonna yell at? Oh, the clip-ins are nice too. And the another one that's nice is the halo, the one that's on the string, and then you like lay your hair over it. That's really nice too. And I was so worried. I was like, what if my biggest fear was that as someone who shows up online, what? Is it big? Yeah. Oh, it's probably a Sam's Club order. Just leave it, baby, if you can't get it. Okay. Anyway, so I know my little 2-pound dog. What's she gonna do? I have 2 dogs that are like 100 pounds each, and then I have a little 2-pounder, and she's the one who's like, "Don't worry, I got this." Anyways, I was really nervous about like how people would perceive me, right? Like if you show up online and you have extensions, like you're fake, right? I get my lips done because my lips are horribly thin and like it makes me self-conscious. So I get my lips like the lip flip, not the filler, just the lip flip or whatever. Anyways, yeah, the prenatals are really good. I take vitamins every single day with the prenatals. Those really help a lot. Oh, I can imagine having curly hair. That would be hard. But I was really worried about like, as someone who shows up online and how like my following kind of grew a little kind of overnight, like a little bit, right? And so, I was worried that, you know, what if I get extensions and like people think I'm fake or they think that I'm not real or whatever. I'm just trying to be someone I'm not. And I feel like a lot, as I started sharing more about like my journey and what I've been experiencing with weight loss and, you know, stuff like that. Even the video I posted today about like, I'm losing weight and I can no longer shop at Torrid, and it makes me scared to death. Like I'm scared because I can't walk into a normal store and be like, oh yeah, this looks good, because my brain tells me no. My brain says that's not going to work for you. Anyways, and so in doing stuff like that and getting Botox, because I have these really bad like devil horns that come out of my head whenever I furrow my brow, and just little stuff like that, it makes me feel like a fraud. Like, you know, here you are trying to show up and, you know, inspire and encourage women to love themselves and all this stuff, and you're doing, but I feel like if we're wearing makeup and we're doing our hair and we're wanting to do all these things to make us feel a little bit better about ourselves, I would rather us do that and feel good than feel miserable and be like, well, I guess I'm just stuck here. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just wish everybody would just shut up and mind their own damn business, like about what people want to do with their bodies, you know? Like, I had weight loss surgery. I have extensions. Like, I get the Botox and, like, my lips done and stuff. And so I have press-ons. Like, you know what I mean? So it's just kind of frustrating. But I really have been loving American Eagle. American Eagle has been a game changer. And there's actually a boutique. There's another Seint artist, and she has a new boutique. And she just sent me some clothes because she's trying to, you know, grow her boutique, and she's like, hey, would you mind like sharing about my boutique? I'd love to gift you some things and just see what you think. I'd love your honest opinion, you know, and maybe share about it. And I was like, yeah, totally. She sent me some stuff, and she sent me some Judy blues, and they're like a size like 11. I was like, holy crap, like, is this real? And so like little things like that, like, you don't realize that there are people out there who are looking at you going, hey, like, we don't really care, like, what you have going on. Like, we love you for you, and we love you that, you know, you're here showing up as real. And if real to you is someone who wants to get, like, weight loss surgery because you have a freaking trauma-ridden mind and you can't help your relationship with food or whatever it is. Yeah, Judy, I really like the Judy blues. I have more of an apple shape, so that's where I struggle. Because it's just my belly that's big, and then everything else just gets smaller. But anyway, so I feel like, I don't know, I guess just like, that's what they say, show up authentically. And people are like, well, you're not authentic if you're doing all these things. And it's like, no, that's part of what makes people authentic, is sharing, like, you know, the things that they're insecure about, and the things that they're sharing vulnerably. Like, that's what makes someone authentic. Oh, I'm going to be posting. I cannot wait. The clothes that she sent are so pretty. I'll post them on my stories and I'll tag her. You'll see it. I think, I don't know if I'm going to make a reel or post. I really wanted, I don't know yet, but you'll see it. And then you can go look. And her boutique it looks like it's pretty small right now, but it looks like she's going to get like many more. She has a lot of really great styles, and the sizes are really inclusive. Like there's a lot of sizes, but I feel like it's almost one of those things where you can't do anything right? Like our body is the body someone else wants. It has nothing to do with what we actually look like. It's perception. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm going to do a try on haul for sure. Cause it's such cute stuff. Like, and it's stuff that I wouldn't normally pick for myself, but looking at it, I'm like, okay, girl, I see you. But I think and that's another reason that I kind of feel like that's one reason I enjoy being like in the beauty space, is because it's all just perception, right? It's all about, first of all, having someone show up every single day and tell you are worthy, you are beautiful, and it's coming from someone who knows what it's like to feel ugly, who knows I grew up literally until I was 28 years old. People called me fat and ugly. And even after that, when I gained I lost 100 pounds and got hot, as my friends say, right? But then after I had my son, I gained it all back. And then guess what? It was back to you're fat and you're ugly. And then when I got divorced from my son's husband and then I was dating again, they would always, all the guys, they told me, they said, you're just too fat for me. You're just too big for me. You're just too this. And I was always just too fat. You're not even, I don't even mind that you're fat, but you're not pretty enough to go with it. Like you're not pretty enough to overlook the fact that you're fat. And like, these are comments that like real life, actual human beings said to me in the dating world 8 years ago, like before I met my husband. Like people actually say those things. You are not pretty enough to date. Like you're fat, and I could get over it, but I won't, because like you're just not pretty enough. And like real actual comments. These are real actual human beings saying these things. And it's like you really, I appreciate the honesty. I'm not going to lie, but at the same time it's like, wow, like you just don't realize. Ryan, will you let the dogs outside, or are they outside? Right? Ryan! Oh, he was underwater. Ryan! Hold on. Ryan! He's trying to tell him. Ryan! He doesn't believe, his friend's trying to tell him, your mom's calling you. He doesn't, let the dogs out. Yes, ma'am. He heard me. Anyway, so these people actually told me that, right? And so when I come here and like share my story and talk about like this makeup that I started selling on accident, like as a PI, what a dumbass, right? Like, and now I have this platform where I can kind of share a little bit about my life as a PI and, being the isolated girl who could hide from the world in a blacked out car on surveillance every day. And that was my hide. That was my hideaway. That was my cave. That was the way I hid from the world, and I didn't have to show up. Ironic, because your physical side isn't even why I enjoy you. I find your personality. Oh, hold on. I find your personality and humor too. Oh, thank you so much. Well, I think it's important because like, I know when I first became a Seint artist, for instance, right? Like, I didn't want to do direct sales. Like I was like, it's a pyramid scheme, not interested. Like I thought I had joined something illegal, like some kind of cult. Like I didn't know what was going on. And so, I didn't want to do it. And I was like, well, if I'm going to do it, let me do what these other girls are doing, right? So I started kind of like, I was emulating what they were doing. I was like, well, I'll just show up like this and do a video like that. I was like, okay, I can do that. And so I just started kind of like showing up in the way they were. And I found myself talking like this. And this is how you do. Go look at my previous, like my videos from 2 years ago, and you'll be like, oh, that is not the same girl. Like I was like, I'd like to show you how to do your contour versus your bronzer. And like all of these things, I was like, how can I teach makeup? And like, there's so many other girls out here who teach, but everybody's been telling me for years, you got to do makeup videos. And I was like, no, who's going to listen? And so I started doing it just like all the other Seint artists were. And I was like, well, she's doing it this way, so this is how I'm going to do it. And that's how I did it. And then finally I was like, I would never talk to my friends like this. Like on a live, I would be like, hello, this is how I do my lashes. This is how I do. Yeah. My phone voice, my customer service voice. But now if you buy makeup from me and you're in my text messages, if you buy makeup from me, then we text, like we have conversations, and you know that my customer service voice is now like, yo girl, what's going on? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, how can I help? What's going on? How are you liking things or whatever? Like, it's so not what I thought it had to be. All I had to be was me. And so I feel like showing up online, like a lot of us are so scared to be us, right? Like we're afraid to be us. And I feel like more women should know that you're beautiful and you're worthy of feeling beautiful and you deserve to feel beautiful. And there's so many like moms and, people, moms, working moms, even if you're not a mama, you're working or doing something to stay busy. And my customer service voice went to Harvard and my husband can't stand her. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. She said my husband can't stand her. That's hilarious. I just feel like, I don't know, when you show up, like it's great when people show up online and they're like for instance, like on YouTube, that's where I learned to do makeup, right? Like sitting in a car on surveillance, like watching YouTube videos. That's how I learned makeup. That's how I got into makeup, because I was like, oh, okay, that's fun and easy. And it was something I could do on surveillance to kill time. And when you're on surveillance, y'all, you're sitting there for hours and hours and hours. Like you're sitting out there sometimes 18, 20 hours doing nothing. You find something to do. Mine was makeup, YouTube videos. And I would find all the influencers and I would follow them and see what they were doing. And I learned a lot from them, right? But one thing I didn't learn was like how to use the brushes and how to whatever. And like they were so good at everything, but I didn't know anything about them. I just knew that they were good at makeup and that their life was perfect, right? Nobody really talked about, listen, this is my life. Until Nikki Tutorials got blasted for being born a man. So she's trans, right? And until she came out, and she didn't even come out. Someone outed her. Until that was acknowledged, like publicly, no one really told you about their life. Like they just did the makeup, but no one actually shared with you who they were as a person. So you see all these influencers and you just knew the makeup. All you knew was that they were perfect at makeup, and you just go, oh, I wish I could do what they do. I wish I was them, blah, 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 right? So as soon as people start showing up online in a real way, like, hey, people are like, oh, your hair's so pretty. And I'm like, thanks. This is extensions. This isn't real. Like, you know what I mean? I think it's important to show that like, we're all like just doing everything that we can to feel good about ourselves. Right. And I want to say we're all doing what we can to help one another, but we don't all do that. There are people who refuse to like be supportive of others just because of their own insecurities or their own whatever. But anyways, most of us want to show other people that like, you're beautiful just how you are, and you're fearfully and wonderfully made, as my mama always taught me. My God, don't make mistakes. Yeah, perfect house, perfect kids, perfect husband, lots of money. And that's what a lot of people don't realize, is that like there's a lot going on behind the scenes, right? Like you don't know what's going on behind closed doors. And like you'll see like an influencer and she has like, oh, this great makeup and she has really great like big following, and she shows up all the time and she's like, this is what I do and this is great and whatever. And then you find out something about them and it turns out to be true, and you're like, no way, I had no idea she was being abused, or I had no idea she had an eating disorder, or I had no idea that she had extensions. Like, she just made us think those are real, and that's fine, right? But like, you just don't, like, we compare ourselves to others all the time. Like we go online and we compare ourselves to what's online, but what you don't realize is that it's online because that's what they want you to see. What they post online is what they want you to see. And so if it's online, it's because they edited it. They edit that video to post it online because they want you to see that, right? And it's the same with me. Like if I see a video that's like not great, like, well, I'll probably still post it. You guys, I just earlier on this live, I blew snot out of my nose. Like it's whatever, you know what I mean? Like it's real. It's like, that's what you do. Like it just happens. Yeah. Oh, Stacy, that's a good point too. And that's another thing that like, so I'm a Seint artist, right? And I have a team of artists underneath me, and some of them are scared to show up online because they're like, you know, I see these other people, I see you, and you're doing all this stuff. And I'm like, but here's what you don't understand is that, first of all, if you're watching someone and every time you watch them, you go, oh, that makes me feel so bad. First of all, stop following them. Like it's toxic, put it away, right? Like we're done. It doesn't mean you can't be friends with them or whatever, but if you find yourself comparing yourself to them, then you have to block them, because then it's torment in your head, right? But also, one thing that I like to remind my team of Seint artists, especially because it's in my face every single day that everybody's like kind of scared to show up authentically online, is there's a woman out there just like you who's looking to be inspired by someone just like her. So let's say I've had a couple women who were like in their 60s and 70s, and they're like, well, I want to try this makeup that you sell, but I have wrinkles and you don't. And that doesn't resonate with me. So I wonder, like, how does this look for older women? And I'm like, you know what? Let me connect you with an artist who's older. Kim Weimer. She's not even on my team, but she is a Seint artist who has mature skin, and her audience is mature women, mature ladies she wants to teach makeup for mature ladies. And so I refer them to her and say, hey, this is a really great artist that I know and love and trust, and I know that she'll take care of you and she'll show you and they love her because they relate to her, right? So when you look at someone like an influencer and you say, like, for instance, people look at me and they go, oh, you have such a big following, like you're this and you're this, like what could you possibly have to worry about? What could you possibly be sad about? Y'all, it's lonely. I was talking about this last night when I did live on Facebook. I was talking about how people are like, I don't want to message you and bother you. And they're like, because you're probably so busy. But this is literally like, connecting with other people is my job. Like that's literally, not only is it my job, but my mom always said, find something you love to do and find a way to make money doing it. And that's exactly what I've done. I love having these friendships. Like I sat by myself alone in what I like to call a jail cell of a surveillance vehicle for 17 years, thinking I was unworthy, that nobody loved me, that nobody wanted to be my friend. I didn't connect with anybody. I was isolated. I was alone. I was depressed. I was sad. I was lonely. It was awful, right? And so then after doing that for 17 years, and I find this stupid makeup, because that's all I did all day was sit in my car and play with makeup. And now all of a sudden I have all of these people that like are genuinely like interested in what I'm doing, and I'm interested in learning about them, and I get to like teach makeup, which has become a passion of mine, and like all of these things, right? So now I'm reaching women who I never would have reached, but it's kind of cool because it's like whenever these women message me and they're like, hey, and I'm like, oh my God, hey, thank you so much for messaging. But if every single one of my followers says, I didn't want to message you because I know you're so busy and I didn't want to bother you, it gets lonely. Let me tell y'all, it gets lonely. So that's why I show up, like, look, I just messed up my hair. It's fine. Like, even if you have extensions, even if you're not perfect, I showed my body, my 300-pound body in a bikini on the interwebs in front of 1.5 million followers, and I shared it to all my platforms. Like, you know what I mean? That's like, and do you know how many women said, oh my gosh, I am so glad you did that. I feel so much less alone. Well, thumbs up. And I think that that's really interesting. And that's what I started teaching my team, was that you never know when someone's going through exactly what you are. And I use the example also when it comes to like my weight loss, for instance. I was talking about one day how did this get curled? Was that part down? Whatever, it's fine. I'm good with it. One day I was talking randomly about how I had a poor relationship with food. I still do. It's a really bad relationship with food, right? And I would I would finish a surveillance at like, let's say 4 p.m. And I would head home to cook dinner, the evening routine. You get your kids fed, you get your husband fed, like you get the dogs fed, you're doing everything, bath time, homework, all the stuff, right? But on my way home to cook dinner, I would stop at McDonald's and get a cheeseburger. I wasn't hungry. I just wanted food. Like that's my poor relationship with food. How embarrassing is that, right? Like how shameful is that? Like that's like, I am a fat girl. Like how dare I, right? But as soon as I mentioned that, a couple of other women said, oh my gosh, I've totally done that. I've totally done that. Oh my God. Thank you for saying that. I didn't I felt so ashamed of myself and so alone. And although it's not like, obviously it's not like healthy or whatever, but to know that there's someone out there experiencing your same pain or your same issue or your same whatever it is, right, that you're experiencing, it just helps you to know that, like, I don't know, there's just something about knowing that other people do it that makes it okay. Like, not okay, but you guys know what I mean. Like, just to know someone else out there who does this and someone who's talking about it on such a large platform, I'm going to be less ashamed of it. And now it kind of gives you permission to be you, because now you're like, you know what? This person has set the tone. But alternatively, it's the same thing for like mean girls and bullies. When people are, I don't have a lot of issues with like trolls on my account or whatever. And I think a lot of it is because people know I'm a PI and I have the ability to like find stuff out on people. I wouldn't just, I don't know, like I can, there's a lot, right? And so I think a lot of people don't mess with me because of that. But then you have one or two people that publicly start like being bullies or mean girls or whatever and start talking trash about you. And then guess what? Everyone else is like, oh, well, she can do it. I'm going to do it too. And so they start being mean too. And that's when the trolls come in and it's like, you didn't have anything to say until this person did. Now all of a sudden you found your voice. But it's the same thing. So it's the same thing for positive and negative. So if we are more positive, right, we see that people follow people, hence influencers, that they're being influenced, you know, good or bad. It's just important to kind of like, I don't know, show the fuck up. You know what I mean? Like, people need you. So many of my artists on my team are like, I'm just scared. Like, you know, what if I show up and someone makes fun of me, or what will people think? Like, they're not going to think about you at all if you don't show up. Like, you know, I guess if that's what you want, but then why are you here? You know what I mean? Like, be someone that someone like you needs. You're going to find a girl that's just like you, and they're going to be like, thank you for showing up because I thought I was all alone. So if you're on here and you're a Seint artist and you ain't showing up, show up because someone needs you. The way you show up for your kids, even when you don't want to get out of bed some days, you know you all show up. Why wouldn't you do that the same for your business, for your paycheck, for your customers, for your family's income, for your sanity, for the sisterhood, for whatever reason, you know? I don't know. I get to preaching on here. Y'all, my mom's a preacher, by the way. And so, and her and I have a gift of gab. She just has the gift of preaching, but so I talk too much. I'm sorry. But I'd rather do this with you guys than just sit here by myself and live in my thoughts. But yeah, there's people also that like, they'll see me in public and they'll be like, Amanda, I am stepping on toes. I'm sorry. There's people that'll see me in public and they'll be like, hi, I don't want to bother you, but are you Frida Barbie? Like, I follow you on TikTok or whatever. And it's like, I get overjoyed. Like, it's like, oh, that's so cool. Like a new friend. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, oh, you guys, I went from literally having no one in my life. Like, I was so alone. I did surveillance and it was a really cool job and the PI stories are funny, right? But I had no one. I was all by myself. I isolated myself away from everyone because I felt like I was unworthy. I was not lovable. I was not, everybody, like, that was just my life as a PI. It was so isolating, right? And then I get this gift of this stupid platform, like, you know, somehow this kind of popped up out of nowhere and all of a sudden, like, I'm funny and like people are listening to me and women want to be my friend. Like, they're not picking on me anymore. Now they're celebrating my flaws with me and they're saying, hey, you're not alone. So as much as like the influencers show up and they say, you know, hey, I am perfect. Look at everything that I'm doing. They're not. They're not. I promise you they're not. Yeah. Making friends is hard. And so my son's 9. So he'll be 10 in April. So that gives you an idea how long ago this was. So about 10 years ago, I joined mom groups, like local mom groups, because I wanted friends. And as a PI, you don't have a lot of female friends. Like, The only female friends I had were other female PIs, so they got it. But there was no one else that like I could connect with that I really had, right? Besides like my best friend, but she always lived states away, which made it hard. But so I joined a mom group, and they were all like crunchy moms, like, yeah. Oh my God, is that the bubbles? You're so silly. They were all like what they call crunchy moms, which is like organic, and they're making their own baby food, and they're like breastfeeding until the kid is 10 or whatever it is. Like it's not my problem. Like that's you. Like I don't want to do that, but I'm not going to knock anybody, right? So, and they were like, as soon as I said formula, because my son was lactose intolerant and I was not producing milk. And so I had a very hard time breastfeeding. I had a very hard time pumping. I didn't produce what I needed to, except in the shower. I could go stand in the shower and press down for a good few seconds and get a good Austin Powers like machine gun like titties. You know what I mean? Like it was wild. But I couldn't produce milk for my son. And so I think I asked like for the best lactose intolerant like formula for a baby, and they bashed me. They slammed me to no end. They were like, what kind of mother would give her child formula on what kind of mother would, you are just giving them chemicals, and I just can't believe you would give your child formula. And I'm like, how do you think they lived like thousands of years ago? Like you think they just these folks, what do you think the moms that were breastfeeding ate? Like really? Like you think they were just like putting all these like protein shakes and whatever in their whatever? Like no, they were totally like living off the land, right? Like they were killing their food and eating it. They weren't like they had no choice, right? So it's kind of like, I don't know, like nothing was medically tested and made sure it was safe. Like they didn't have all these mom groups to join to like, tell them they were doing things right or wrong. Anyways, my point is like people are just mean, and the girls were so nasty to me. And they were like the girls they were like the stay-at-home moms, and they had husbands who were attorneys and made a lot of money and all of this stuff, right? And so they always wore like the what?
How much longer are you gonna be on your live?
I don't know why.
No.
Okay. Till I'm done. Anyway, so they would wear their like, the walking outfits, like the leggings and the sports bra, and they were all so skinny, and they were like, oh, I got rid of my baby belly, and me, I'm just like fat because I have been my whole life or whatever. And so they would talk about how like I need to get into exercise and I need to start walking with my baby because being fat is setting a poor example for my no month old baby, and like, I need to show him that like how to be a healthy mom. And it was awful. Like it was really, really bad. And to be honest with you, like my sister-in-law was crunchy. Like my brother's wife, they were all about that crunchy life. That's fine. Like do you, boo. I was all about like, if I wanted to do I was excited to do formula because I was like, hey, someone else want to feed this kid? Because here, hand off the baby. Like let him bond with his other family members. And you know what I mean? Like, as much as I love that connection with him, like I wanted him to have the chance to like sit with his dad and sit with his brother and sister and all those things. Anyway, so it's just a struggle. Like you can't go anywhere and find like real people that will just allow you to be you for you, right? American Housewife. No, I don't think I watched that. Is it good? Do I need to watch it? Do I need to watch it? I don't watch TV. I don't have time. But I would really like to sit down sometime and just like do TV stuff. That'd be amazing. Oh, is it funny? Okay, then yeah, I'll watch it. I was like, this reminds me of like American Horror Story. I was like, that got a little too Satan-y for me. Like, I'm not into it. Oh, a plus size mom in a rich neighborhood. Stacy, will you text me that, please, so I remember it? I definitely want to watch that. Like, that's something I would totally be like, okay, let me sit down and watch this. I gotta watch that. But what's funny is that, like, I guess, I don't know, like, my son turned out just fine, right? Y'all want to know a little bit about my son? He's like a straight A student. He says yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am. If I ask him to take out the trash, he doesn't go, fine. Like, I'm sure it's coming. Like, I know he's going to be a teenager at some point, right? but he's very obedient. He's very kind. He's very supportive and very loving. He's very, what do you call it when you just accept everyone for everyone? Like he doesn't like judge anyone for anything. Like if he has a question, he asks it. He's like, Mom, why is he talking like that? And I explain that like, we don't know and it's none of our business, but like I kind of tell him about, some people have disabilities and it makes them, whatever, like God made them a certain way or whatever. Like I just kind of try to explain things to him and he gets it. And so the next time when he's explaining to his friends, he's like, if one of his friends is making fun of someone, my son will be like, hey, that's none of your business. Like, that's the way God made him. You leave him alone and he'll tell a teacher. Like, just trying to do the right thing, And so he's a good kid so far. Like, again, the teenage years are coming, so I'm probably going to eat my freaking words here in a minute, but it's fine. But I did pretty good and he was on formula. It's fine. Organic, but judgment. Yeah. But anyways, so I guess like the whole point is to share with you that like, the people that you see online, it's not really real. I try to be as real. I'm not saying like everyone else is not real and I am, because don't get me wrong. There's some videos that I've made and I'm like, yeah, I'm not posting that I look like trash or whatever. And I'm just not confident in it. But for the most part, like if there's something about me that I don't like, I'm going to share it with the world, because I guarantee there's a woman out there who has the same exact thing that she don't like, and she's going to see me not liking it. And then she's going to be like, okay, I feel less alone. And that by itself, I think is empowering and inspiring to each other. And I think we all have the ability to do that. But definitely don't compare yourself to others. But also, do y'all know how hard it was for me the first time I shared that I weighed 300 pounds? It was like, they say don't talk about your weight, right? Because women find it embarrassing. Like we don't want to share that. Like we all want to say 120 pounds. And by the way, like every time I go buy a gun here in Florida, they make you sign this thing. And it's like, tell us your height and your weight and your race and all this stuff. And I always put 120. I always put 120 on the weight. I do. I do. It's fine. What are they going to do? Like, what are you going to weigh me? I didn't know. I thought I weighed 120 that day. I was identifying as a 120 pound woman. Anyways, fun little silly fact. Anyway, so there's like, I don't know, people that need people to relate to, you know what I mean? And so you could be that person. How do I do this backwards? I can't do this backwards. No, hold on. Wrong way. There we go. They look at the application and they look back at me, and what are they going to do? Is pull out the scale? Go ahead, I dare you. Anyways, we're so insecure about the number on the scale, right? So the first time that I said, hey, I'm 300 pounds. Let me share this with you, right? I was like, I'm going to die. I want to crawl into a hole. And do you know how many people said, oh my gosh, I am right there with you. Like we can do this together. And there were so many people that I just felt like I have to keep sharing. Like I have to keep telling. I identify as 125 pounds today. But in sharing, it also kind of gave me accountability, right? Because I was like, listen, if I share that I'm 300 pounds, but share I'm on a weight loss journey, and in 3 months, if I ain't lost a little bit of weight, then people are going to be like, hey, Lucy, you got some splaining to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, where are you at? What are you doing? And these people that I'm trying to inspire, they're going to be like, you are trying to inspire us and you ain't doing jack for yourself. What's going on? And so it's an accountability thing, but also kind of funsies, right? And now I earned the Seint rewards trip to Mexico, and we go March 31st. We fly out to Mexico. And I want to be at 175 pounds, and I'm at 181 pounds right now. So I got to get with it. But I've been walking every day. I've been like drinking my water. I've been drinking my protein shakes, eating healthy. Like I've been doing all the things, right? But then last night, guess what I did? I had a couple pieces of my Hershey bar. Like I had the little snack size, like Valentine's Day Hershey bars. I ate them. Guess why? Because I wanted it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not, you can't just live like this perfect life. And everybody who tells you, yeah, like, this is all I eat in a day and this is it. Like, they're probably telling the truth, right? They could be. But you don't know if them people are, like, stopping at McDonald's to get in that cheeseburger, right? But they'll never tell you that. I will. They won't. They said I need to change you. What? They said, I need to change my weight if you're over 25 pounds. I told the lady I'm pregnant. You could eat some dark chocolate. Amanda, you need to shut up, okay? You guys, let me tell you about Amanda. We were at the Tampa Love Conference, right? And we had a bowl of candy because there was like 30 girls. And we were like, oh, we'll have some snacks. Snacks is my middle name. Love snacks. So we have chocolate. I didn't know that some of it was dark chocolate. And so I take a bite and I'm like, oh, it's so bitter, right? And Amanda's like, I'll take that. I love dark chocolate. Dark chocolate's good for you. And my kids love dark chocolate. And everything's dark. So disgusting. And I'm like, Amanda, get out. You're no longer welcome here. Like this is a non-coffee facility and a non-dark chocolate space. Don't ever ask me about dark chocolate ever again. No one wants your dark chocolate, Amanda. It was really funny though. And so now that's another thing. Like you show up with little things like that and that'll be like I know, thank you, ew. That'll be a fun memory that like her and I have forever. You know what I mean? Like you never know how little things can really build connections with people. I definitely don't do coffee because it's gross. It's disgusting. Now I'm down to my license weight so the DMV can kiss my ass. Good for you, Tracy. She just told the DMV to kiss her booty. I like it. The DMV is a wild ride, y'all. Every time you go in there, it takes forever. They got 1,711 years. The line's long as Methuselah, like as long as Methuselah is old and you can't get out of there. Oh, Lord Jesus. You just can't. Okay, y'all. This is how relaxing is my Saturday? What are you guys doing today? Are you guys just chilling like I am? I always envision in my head that like everybody's going places and doing things on Saturdays and they're like making a life for themselves and they're shopping and they're exploring and they're at the zoo with their children. And I'm just sitting at home being like a lame-o. That's what I always imagine is that like everybody's doing these great, crazy, great things and I'm just sitting at home like nothing. Like I'm gonna stay at home, do nothing or laundry. Okay. Thank you for making me feel seen. I was like, I just washed my hair the other day. Like I need to curl it. I need to do all these things. I actually, for the first time in my life, like crocheting in my jammies and listening to one of my you're crocheting? I love it. Being a couch potato, I like it. While eating the hot tamale candies? No. I'm actually going out today. Good for you. Everybody's doing laundry. Your Christmas tree is still up. Keep debating it. Listen. It's not still up. It's up a little early. Okay? That's all. I took a shower today. Oh my God. You guys are my people. Thank you so much. I took a shower today. What the freak else do you want from me? I took a shower. Don't ask me for much else. That's all you're getting. I took a shower. Hold on. I'm back. I can't. It's backwards and the wrong hand in the mirror. So I'm like, facial massage on my face is more good for you. You have 2 trees still up. Oh God. Waiting for the in-laws to get here. Oh, Jen, is in-laws a good thing or a bad thing? Do we like the in-laws? Are they nice? My Christmas tree's in the box in the middle of the living room. Good for you. Anyways, yeah, so you guys make me feel more seen. You see what I mean? Like, I always think of, like, I always look at everyone else and I'm like, gosh, they're probably so exciting with all their lives. Y'all aren't exciting. You're just as boring as me and I love it. Oh my gosh. Mine came down like a couple days after Christmas. Okay, let me turn on the fan. Hold on, it's hot. It's hot in here. And I have the window open and it's humid outside, but I have the window open so I can hear the boys swimming and like, I don't know. They're phenomenal swimmers, by the way. My son's on the swim team. Like, he's fine. And apparently the hot tub has been on since yesterday, so my electric bill is gonna, but it's fine. You live next door to your in-laws? Ooh, that would scare the shit out of me. You're hot and I'm freezing. Well, it's probably a good 75 degrees here, but it is humid. It's Florida, so it's hot. I love your makeup palette that you use. Do you sell them? Are they your invention? No. So actually, that's what I was going to do next is my makeup. So y'all saw I did my moisturizer. So now I'm going to do my SPF. Even though the sun isn't out, I'm still SPFing. And also because you can still get rays or whatever. I don't know the science. I'm not a scientist. I like to pretend I am. And then I'm going to prime and then I'll show you the makeup. No, the makeup that I sell is 24 degrees Fahrenheit? 30s? Oh, excuse me, ma'am. I got a spare bedroom. Are you okay? Oh, 30 degrees. My mother, on the other hand. Oh my gosh, I moved 2 states away. So yes, the makeup that I sell is from a company called Seint. So Seint was formed back in 2013 by Kara Brook. Kara Brook was her maiden name is Killpack. I don't know if you've known her back then. She was a award-winning beauty blogger for Allure, as well as a makeup artist, right? Do you give any tips on chocolate skin and the makeup palettes? I want to start doing my makeup again. Tips! Get this makeup. You'll freaking love it. Send Amber, do a color match. Type the word match here, and I'll send you my color match form. I can match you. We can match any skin tone, girl. I love and Seint is continually adding more shades too, but I can totally match you. This is the Elastin SPF. This is a 36 SPF, and it is my favorite. It's the Hydro Tint Pro Mineral Sunscreen. It has a tiny hint of a shimmer, little bitty, teeny tiny baby hint of a shimmer. And it's tinted, but it's really light. It's beautiful. And it's kind of I think it's kind of like a BB cream or a CC cream. But I really like how it feels. It just creates a really pretty base and the SPF. Yes, it's on my Amazon list. Okay, so anyway, Kara formed this company in 2013, right? So what happened was she borrowed a bunch of money from, I think it was her uncle or something. And they were Elastin. And she said, listen, I have this idea for this makeup, right? And she's like, but I need money. And they're like, all right, we believe in you, but also that's a lot of money, 125 grand or something like that, right? And so she says, yeah, I know, but listen, this is going to be really good, right? So she borrows all this money. She goes to the factory, she creates this makeup. Her invention is this, her idea is this one compact makeup. Back up to 5th grade, she's doing a science project, right? So she's 10, 11 years old, right? Does a science project, this makeup. She invented this makeup at 10 years old, 5th grade, okay? And she talks about how she saw that all of her friends' moms had makeup, but they were all complaining about the makeup. So she's like, well, maybe I can make it easier. And so the rest was history, right? Well, imagine when I was in 5th grade, I was eating boogers, okay? And she's inventing makeup, okay? So just think about that for a second, right? So anyways, she grows up a little bit and she gets a little bit older and she's like, I really, really want to pursue this makeup invention. This is the e.l.f. primer I'm using. I know. I love the black and white checker. I can't stay away from it. Woo! He loves it, Tracy. That's awesome. So anyways, she invents this makeup. She borrows a whole bunch of money. She has no idea if she's going to be able to pay this money back, right? But she borrows it, good faith, and her uncle, whoever gave it to her, and said, hey, all right, good luck. And she's like, great. So now I'm in debt, right? But she still wanted to sell this makeup. And so it was e-commerce, right? So you could buy it online. And so she had her little online store or whatever. And so basically she gets into, and forgive me if any of this is wrong, but basically here's the story. Sephora, Ulta, Free People, a bunch of these stores wanted her makeup, right? But what they wanted to do was take the ingredients that are clean. So there's 11 ingredients in this makeup, right? Clean ingredients. And they were like, we can make the ingredients for cheaper, sell it for more, and make more of a profit. And she said, but I don't want to mess with the integrity of my formula. That's the whole concept, is I want a clean makeup line, and I want it to be very simple. If you notice Seint's packaging, Seint's website, it's all very simple, very, very plain. Not plain, but it is kind of plain. It's simple, right? It's very, very basic. And that was her idea. That was the authentic, original concept, right? And so she says, well, I don't want to do that, Sephora. I don't want to do that, Free People. Like, I want to do that. Like, can't you just accept this as it is? And they're like, no, like, we don't want that. Like, we want to make more money. And she's like, I get that, but it's my formula. Like, this is my baby. Like, I've been working on this. Now, mind you, in her mind, she still owes like her uncle or whoever 125 grand, like, that they put up for her to get this makeup, like, produced, right? So that she could present it. Make sure you hang up your wet clothes, please. Are you done? Okay, hang up your wet clothes, please. So anyways, she says, no, I don't want to do that. I'm not about that life. And they're like, well, we don't want it. And she's like, okay, I have to make a decision. Either I give in to them and do it the way they want and give up my baby, my invention, my brainchild, or I kind of sit back and we need to rethink this. So she says, no, I don't want to do that. So Sephora, Free People, Ulta, whoever else, she's like, no, I'm done. Like, we're done, fam. Like I'm out, right? So she says, well, I don't know what I'm going to do. I owe all this money, but I still have this makeup that I love. So we'll continue to be e-commerce, whatever. Well, her sister, Rachel Jacob, says, why don't you make it like direct sales, like, you know, the direct sales company. And then you can, you know, all these other women, you can have them sell it for you. These stay-at-home moms and these women that are whatever. Now think about back in the day, back in like the 40s and 50s, when it was just men in the workforce and men in the office. What did women do to have their own business and bring in money, but also raise their kids and take care of their husbands? They sold freaking Tupperware. Do you know? Like, that's the original. It is the most feminist, like, women supporting business model that there is. Like, this is the original business model that supported women actually working, right? And taking care of their families. So anyways, her sister said, why don't you do direct sales? And Kara says, ew, I don't want to do direct sales. That's very pyramid-y, very like MLM-y. I don't want to do it, right? And Avon was another one. And what was the other one? NutraGrow or something, another, like another supplement program, whatever, back in the day, right? So she says, that's very pyramid-y. I don't want to do it. Kara never wanted to be in a pyramid scheme or anything weird. She didn't like it. Well, so in 2017, she says, you know what? We can do this. Yeah, Mary Kay is another one that's been around for 100,000 years. Like, Mary Kay is older than Methuselah for sure. Herbalife, they've all been around for like such a long time. So she says, so in 2017, Kara said, okay, we're going to do this. Yeah, so 2017. She says, all right, we're going to do this, but we're going to make it different. And I want to keep my formula exactly the way it is. Amway, yes. Oh my gosh, Amway. She says, I want to keep my formula exactly how it is. This is mine. This is my baby. I'm not giving it up to nobody else, right? So the concept is great. Everybody wanted it in their stores. The problem is that she did not want to be in direct sales. She did not want that pyramid thing. Because you've heard when you get into like pyramid schemes and stuff like that, like then it's like you have all these people that are like, yes, it's the whole concept is your whole face in one palette. That was her whole idea, was to have everything in one. It's different. Nobody has this yet. Like, this is just, it's novel. It's a novel idea, right? So she created this makeup. She was weird about the MLM aspect. So what she did was she created it in a way that was not, that everyone had to participate. So you don't have just like Arbonne. Yes, that's another one. So that you don't have one person at the top that's like collecting a whole bunch of money from a bunch of reps and sitting back and doing nothing, right? PCV is personal commissionable volume. So when you get into stuff like that, that's because we're in Canada also. So in order to make it equal, so if I sell 200 CV and I'm in the US and you're in Canada and you sell 200 CV, like those are the same, right? But in Canada, you have to sell like 500 and I only have to sell like, I don't know, 300 or something like that. So it's just to make it even across the board, to say, because the dollar amounts are different values, but to make the sales kind of exactly the same. So like if you sell, basically if I sell $300, but it's, let's say, I don't know, I don't math, this is hard, but I sell $300 worth of product, and let's say it's like four products, and then someone in Canada sells the exact same 4 products It's the exact same CV, just different dollar amount. So that's why the CV is there. Anyways, so she says, well, I want to make it so that people don't, like, there's not someone at the top just collecting a bunch of money, right? So what she did was she took out all the yuck, like all the yuck factor of direct sales and pyramid schemes. And she took out all the gross stuff, the part where you have to like do all this weird stuff and pay all these crazy fees and whatever, right? So if you think of like, hold on. The boys are out of the pool, so I can close the window. When you think of these other companies who are like, oh, you have to, like LuLaRoe, I think was one of them, where you have to buy so much in product, right? And then you are responsible for moving that product, or else you're just out of luck, right? You're just SOL. So she didn't want to do that. So that's why as Seint artists, like, we don't hold inventory. So we obviously had to be accountable in some way, like to the company, like we had to contribute in some way. So that's why we pay the $12.95 a month or whatever, which is pretty reasonable. Like, that's, you know, whatever. Like, I feel like the fee is hard because it's like, well, if this is considered a job, why do you have to pay into it? And it's like, first of all, $12.95 a month is really affordable, and it's like your back office. They take care of your, you know, all the things, your website, they take care of all the customer service, like literally whatever you need, right? So $12.95, I'll take it. So there's, which some people find arguable, and that's fine. I'm just not going to argue over $13 to make what I do. So it's fine. Anyway, so you pay this $12.95. You're an artist. That makes you active, right? And other direct sales companies, you have to sell a certain amount of product before you'll even get paid a commission. Like, they're like, you have to sell this many hundreds of dollars before you'll get paid commission. Seint doesn't do that. She said, well, if they're going to sell makeup, we're going to do it so that they make money from the very first dollar they sell, right? So this makeup's not in stores. So we need representatives, artists, to sell this product, right? That's how business works. Like, you need people to sell your product, right? So we basically say, okay, we're going to pay this. Let me face the natural light so it's a little bit better. Hold on. Because I can't see what I'm doing. So we need artists, representatives of the company. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Right? We want the company to do well, because the better the company does, as I was about to say, the better the company does, the better we do. You know what I mean? So like, oh, hey Tiff, I'm so glad you're back. I was just talking about the Seint, being a Seint artist. So anyways, so she's like, okay, that's fine. Like, we can do that. So we'll do a small fee that's actually affordable, so people can, I don't know if it's like an accountability thing or it just helps to, you know, your website, whatever it is. I don't care. I'm not gonna argue about it, right? So then she says everybody's gonna get paid from their very first dollar. So if you're a Seint artist, like, you sign up as a Seint artist, there's no fee to sign up. You don't have to sign up to be a Seint artist. To sign up, you just have to purchase one of the kits. So you're actually getting product, right? So kind of same as, oh, is it lagging? I'm so sorry. Is it bad? Do I need to stop it? Let me start it. Just close your eyes and listen. If it's not matching my voice. So weird. Anyway, so you, just like LuLaRoe, like, you would have to buy product, and that's how you became a LuLaRoe rep, or whatever they're called, right? A Lula rep. With Seint, it's just like, you buy this product, but you're not required to sell that product. Like, that's for you. So if you're someone, like, for instance, if you're someone who already has the makeup and then you decide you want to be a Seint artist, you just have to buy like one of the kits, like whatever makeup that you want. But the idea of buying that makeup is so that when you put makeup on people, as you're trying to sell this makeup, you have the product on hand. So it's not like, have you seen the LuLaRoe documentary? Yes, I did. And that's why I saw that documentary, and that's why when I signed up for Seint on accident, like, I didn't realize it was a direct sales company. I told my husband, immediately when I realized what I did, I ran downstairs and I said, I just joined a pyramid scheme. We're going to lose the house and we need to flee to Mexico. Like, I thought, like, me and Tiffany will tell you, like, we are goody two shoes. Like, we do not do anything wrong. We got straight A's our whole life. We did not skip school. Like, we are goody two, like, we are afraid of getting busted for anything. Like, we do not do drugs. Like, we do not drink. Like, that's us, right? I literally signed up on accident. I thought it was just like affiliate marketing. And then if you posted about the makeup, they would like pay you. And I was like, well, clearly I'm not going to post about it. I thought the makeup was stupid. I looked at it and I was like, these girls are dumb. Like, who does their makeup like that? Exactly the way I'm doing it. I was like, that's stupid, right? So I thought it was dumb. Anyways, so this was just not the way that I knew how to do makeup. Anyways, so she says, okay, what else can we take out of the pyramid scheme, the direct sales, like, model that would make this more legitimate? So what she did was say, well, you cannot, there's no minimums to purchase. You do not have to sell any amount of makeup at all during the month, right? Like you, if you sell $0 one month and $1 million the next month, you will get paid no matter what. Nobody's kicking you out as long as you pay that $12.95, right? So she said there's no minimums, like nobody has to meet any certain minimum, because she knows, she's a foster mom too, and she knows that mamas, no matter where you are in your mom journey or whatever, women in general, like women who are, there's attorneys that are Seint artists. There are like these women that do many different careers, even if they're not moms. Like these are busy women. Like these are women of all kinds who just wanted extra income or sisterhood or whatever they signed up for, right? And so she said, it doesn't matter how much you sell. I'm not going to put that on anyone. But if you grow a team, which you're not required to do, like if you just want to sell $10 in makeup every 6 months and not have a team, like they don't care. Like they do, nobody, literally no one cares. They're not your mama. They don't care. But if you are someone who wants to build a team, so like I have a team of almost 400 artists underneath me, right? If I myself, like I earn a good amount of money off of the commissions from them selling makeup. That's kind of how it works. Like that's what incentivizes you to like recruit people, or like, you know, when people sign up under you as an artist, you earn a little bit of that, right? But it benefits the company because they make more money. That's literally what business is. Like this, that's how network marketing works. Like we're networking, we're connecting. The company does better the more people are selling the makeup, because it's not in stores. We are the store. So if we're sharing it, then it sells the makeup, the company does well, and then we can make more money, whatever. And so it helps everyone, right? Not to mention this makeup's freaking gorgeous and it helps women feel freaking beautiful, but whatever. By the way, if you want to get a color match, like I'm not really talking about the makeup much, but you can just comment match and I will send you the link. Thank you. I got it at like Rue 21. This is baddie vibes. It's a little big, but it's fine. Don't crucify me, please. Is it sort of like Mary Kay? Yeah, kind of, but it's different because, well, number one, the product is different. Number two, Mary Kay, as far as I know, I think Mary Kay requires you to sell a certain amount or you're done. Like you have to sell a certain amount every couple months or something. So I'm pretty sure that's how Mary Kay works. If it's not, then please forgive me. But also the difference between Seint and Mary Kay is that Mary Kay, my truck, and he is like beyond, he's so excited, he'll have to wait. Anyway, so Mary Kay has been around for like old, like 20, like what, 30 something like that years, right? Like our grandmas sold Mary Kay, right? So there's like what, 4 million reps or something, I think is the last I heard for Mary Kay. Seint is a newer company and has about 22,000 artists, I believe. About 3,000 of us are active between two countries, the US and Canada. So when you show up and you're out here like, I want to be a Seint artist, I want to sell makeup, and you show up selling this makeup, y'all, I have 1.5 million followers across my platforms, and every single day people ask me, what is this makeup that you have? People don't know about it. Women don't know that their makeup can be this easy. Like women don't know whatever. Everyone's heard of Mary Kay. Mary Kay has everything, right? They have like the foundation, and they have the cream, and they have the, you know, the lipstick, and they have all these things. Seint is very novel. Hi, baby. I'm so sorry. I'll call you back after this. I love you. Yeah, there's only, so I don't like saying like, oh, this is a ground floor opportunity, like jump in. But if you think about it, out of all of those artists who actually sign up, people, they don't really work the business. Some of them sign up just to get the product that they buy when you sign up, like the artist kit or whatever. It's like kit snatching, I guess is what they call it. So a lot of people sign up for that. A lot of people sign up and then they don't really have the confidence to do anything with it, or maybe they tried and it didn't work out for them for whatever reason, right? And so you have a lot of artists who drop off because people don't want to do sales. I didn't want to do freaking sales. I didn't know this was freaking sales. I would have never signed up. It's stupid. I think sales are horrible because people message you and they're like, hey, do you want to buy this? And you're like, no. And they're like, are you sure? And you're like, yeah. And they're like, but what about this? But I can offer you this. And you're like, listen, no is a literal complete sentence, right? In every sense of the term, and no matter how you use it, like no is a complete sentence. So I have never, not one time, got in someone's DM and been like, hey, I have this product. Would you like to purchase this from me? Or, hey, I'm a Seint artist. Would you like to be one too? Can I recruit you onto my team or whatever, right? So like, I've never not one time done that. I am a top seller in this company, and I've never asked anybody to buy makeup from me, not one single time. I've never asked anybody to join my team. I just show up with what I love and show what I love about it, and that's it. So no, I'm not baking. These are all creams. So this is kind of like a concealer, like a brightening highlight. It looks like a freaking manic episode right now, right? Like it looks like crazy. But this makeup is kind of cool because the concept is that you put all the colors where they go and then blend them. And then it creates the dimension that you want. So I have my contour, my brightening highlight. My foundation or my main shade is going to go everywhere else. But we're not going to layer this makeup. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, it does take your brain a minute. It's kind of like driving in the US and then you go to the UK and drive, and it's like you're on the opposite side, but the car is the same, the mechanics are all the same, everything's the same, the motor's the same. It's just a matter of like switching gears a little bit, like no pun intended, and sitting in the other seat and like training your brain to use the other hand. It's kind of like that with your makeup, right? So anyway, so she says, okay, well, we're going to create this artist program. And then what happened was the women who were already purchasing her makeup from her online store, because it was e-commerce, right? So it was not in stores because they wanted to rip you off. They wanted to rip us off. Like they wanted to get more money from us and change the ingredients. And she said, nah, we're not doing that. I switch off. I like this one. This is the Elastin. I also use the Kosas, and there's another one that's the Drunk Elephant that I really like. So, but the Elastin it's probably my favorite. I really like it. But you can try anyone that you really like, but as long as you're using sunscreen. So anyway, she creates this artist program, right? And you guys, the women that were purchasing her makeup before were like, heck yeah, I want to do it. And they were excited about it. So she's like, all right. So you have some artists that have been here since literally day one. Look, this main highlight shade, I'm going to put kind of in between. Like I'm going to fill in the gaps with this main shade. So anyways, so she says, so people started signing up and they're like, I'll sell this makeup. And they started telling their friends and they got excited about it. So they created this level of excitement for such a new product, right? Like it was this new, is very novel concept. It wasn't liquid foundation. It was all in one palette, and it was, whatever. Are there mandatory or pressure from the upline to attend meetings weekly? Nope. I cannot stand that. Like, we have a Telegram thread with our team, and I say, hey, there's a team meeting tonight. That's it. Like, I'll post the link. If you show up, you show up. If you don't, you don't. Like, that's all on you. And that's the thing that I think a lot of naysayers when it comes to direct sales and MLMs, I'm certain, I've never done another MLM, so I can't speak for any of them, but I'm certain, I've heard horror stories that there are companies out there that offer a product, and they're like, oh, well, you have to pay this monthly fee, and they're like, that's horrible, and like you have to ship all these products, and people go broke and whatever, right? So what's interesting is that this is actually a really great way for mamas to stay home with their babies, for women to do their daily jobs, and still, like, one of our top sellers, Olivia Reeves, she's a CRNA. She makes I imagine she makes at least $250,000 a year on her own. Like, she doesn't need the money. This is fun for her. Like, she's all over the social media. She's a riot. She's so, like, this is totally fun, right? Like, and who knows, like, if anything ever happens with the CRNA industry, like, she makes way more than that from selling Seint. You know what I mean? Like, it's just do whatever you want. And it's good on dry skin. There's no alcohols. It's very hydrating. So a lot of my dry skin, if you have dry skin and you use this makeup, I wonder if you can respond. But it hydrates all day without being like a liquid creamy mess. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not soft like your moisturizer. It's just a really pretty cream that melts in. But the return policy is 30 days. And we can shade swap too, so if you're not crazy about your shade. But I'm pretty good at color matching, not to toot my own horn, but but anyways, it's a really great opportunity for women who, number one, love the makeup. Number two, just really enjoy connecting with other women. I earned and I think this is because there's not a lot of Seint artists out there. But in 2022, January 2022, I signed up as a Seint artist. I had no following. I had no social media. I had no nothing. I had no anything. I had I didn't even have a TikTok. I had an Instagram where I had like 7 followers, and I had like a Facebook with like a 71 friends. They were all my family, like blood related. Like, you know what I mean? Like literally I had no following at all. And in that time, I earned the sales incentive trip. I became a top seller on my entire team just from like connecting with women and like doing Facebook parties and stuff like that. There's one of our top leaders here. Her name is Heather Burge. She is an artist 9, which artist 10 is the highest one. And she did all of that just by like Facebook parties and like connecting with women through, I mean, not Facebook parties, in-person stuff. Like she doesn't do online. She doesn't do hardly anything online. So it's kind of cool that it's for anybody who really just wants to connect in any way they can. Like whether that's your church group or in your college or whatever. I just had my youngest artist sign up under me. She's 19. She's starting college, and she's obviously representing the younger crowd or whatever. But anyways, I just love how when Kara Brooke invented this makeup, she really had every woman in mind. Like mature skin ladies, if you're 75 years old, 100 years old, 1,000 years old, like wrinkles, lines, whatever, you can still wear this makeup. And that's what I really love about it, is it really is for every woman, and the artist opportunity is for literally every woman. I'm not saying that it's like everybody's gonna make a huge profit, but yeah, it's just like a retail store. Like you can just you can buy one color, or you can buy all the colors, or you can buy 7, or you can buy 2, or you can buy 1, or just one brush. I have customers who are just married to their Clinique foundation, and they just have a palette full of like lips and bronzers and stuff. So totally whatever you want. But that's not a stupid question. What are the main things that should go in a starter palette? Oh, if you start, like if you're like, I want to try this makeup, but I'm not quite sure. I always recommend starting with this small little 4 palette. You can get this in a collection. So like you just choose your own shade level. And it comes with the foundation, the concealer, the contour, and the blush. And it's just to kind of give you an idea of the concept of the dimension, but also you don't have to buy a collection. Like this one comes with the brush, the 3D brush, and this compact, all the 4 shades, the compact and the brush, and it's like $107. So it's a pretty good deal, but you can also build your own. They're only $16 a piece, and you can just like build your own, like shade by shade or whatever. Oh, Kimberly, do whatever you want, boo. Like, no, that's dumb. Like you can absolutely do that. I use primer with Seint, but it doesn't stay on good at all. You're probably using the wrong shade. Just FYI. If your makeup isn't staying on, if you use the wrong shade, you won't be able to apply it in a way that looks good. And so you could be using the wrong shade. You should text me and I'll help you see if I can help you find the right shade, because I guarantee that's what it is. How often are there sales? Last year there was a sale every single month. Like there was one sale a month. I think in March there was like a free eyeshadow with purchase. And then the next month there was like, and then July there was like the customer appreciation sale, which was gigantic. And so there's a lot of sales. I love doing the home parties because text me, honestly. I'm telling you, like, text me. I respond. It's not a robot. Like it's literally me. Ooh, that was nice. But anyways, so what I was saying about like being a Seint artist is that you make your own rules. Like no one, my team knows. I joke about this a lot because there's a lot of leaders in direct sales and they know the business, and they're like, if you do this and these numbers and based on statistics, and you can do this, and then you'll be this, and you can make this much money if you sell this much, and blah blah blah. I don't know how to do that. Like I am not someone who knows. I always joke and say that I don't know what I'm doing as a leader in direct sales. Like I know at least a little bit because my team's freaking thriving. But I kind of am just like kind of winging it. But I go more based on like feelings. Like, how do you feel about it? If it makes you feel bad, don't do it, right? If it makes you feel good, then you do it. Like bottom line. And so a lot of companies, from what I've heard, and some of my teams, like when people sign up, do you do a background check just for fun? Girl, no, that shit costs money. No, I am not interested in doing a background check. That's such a funny question. No, girl, no. That shit cost me way too much money. And a background check, like there's Googling people and then there's background check. Background check would require me to utilize my license, and I won't. I will not risk my private investigator license just for funsies to look someone up. A lot of people think I do that. They're like, do you just look up backgrounds on everyone? I'm like, no, that costs me too much money, too much time. I'm not into it. I have too much to do. So anyways, the whole point that I was making was this makeup is literally for everyone. Being an artist can be for everyone if you want it to be. I hate to say that like too broadly, because a lot of people I've gotten a little bit of hate for saying, oh, it's so easy, anyone can do it, because I guess like a lot of people look at me as someone who's like an influencer, and they're like, well, you have all these followers, like of course it's easy for you, of course you sell a lot of makeup. But what they don't know is that I didn't have any followers. I didn't have social media like before. Like, oh, thank you for listening to the Dating Detectives. You're in Chicago. Oh, that's so cool. I love that. Thank you for saying hi. A lot of people they'll basically say like, you can't be out here all willy-nilly like telling people how easy it is to sell makeup when you have all these followers. And I'm like, but I didn't have all these followers. I had 0 followers, and I still kind of became a top seller with 0 followers on social media. So it was really interesting that like that's kind of used against me, even with some of the other Seint artists. Like they're like, you know, of course you're a top seller, like you have all these followers, but that's not, I didn't have the followers first. So what is your answer then? Like, you know what I mean? Like yeah, everyone starts at day 1. Like everyone starts from 0. I started at 0. Like how do you account for the whole year of my life that I didn't, like, I only had followers the second year that I was here. The first year I didn't have nothing. I had 0. So like, how do you account for me being a top seller during that year? I'm just curious. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, it is possible. And I signed up under corporate because I didn't know it was direct sales. I signed up under corporate without like an upline or whatever. Like I didn't have a mentor. Like I didn't have someone saying, okay, now you do this. Now you do this. Like I had no idea. Like I had no one. I had no team. I didn't know any single person in the company. Ooh, I didn't blend. Y'all didn't tell me. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. I really appreciate you listening to the podcast. We're really grateful for y'all. Yeah, you'll get what you put into it. And sometimes it's a little bit of luck. Like I feel like there was a little bit of, like, a lot of people say, well, not everybody has cool PI stories like you to share. No, but everyone has a story to share. And like people care about being a fly on the wall. Like I've had PI stories that I've told, but then I've had stories where I talked about, what was it? I told something about me hating coffee or something, and that went nuts. Like that video. And I was like, it's not about like, you know what, like, yeah, it was a cool job, which didn't suck. Like it really helped, like, you know, boost, I think, because people were interested in the stories and all the stories were going viral, and so it helped the makeup sales or whatever. But I'll be honest with you, like if you're in my beauty group on Facebook, you're welcome to join, by the way. It's called Freedom in Beauty VIP. And the relationships that I built there over the course of like starting as an artist, those core relationships, like those foundation relationships, taught me how to like connect. No, we might be on YouTube in the future. We're working with Spotify. We have a Spotify manager that's going to help us get, and our talent manager's helping with that too. So hopefully eventually we'll be on the YouTube. It's fun to see. You'll die when you see Hannah's faces. Like she's so funny. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, I've never asked anybody to buy makeup or join my team. I've said, hey, this is what I do. This is what I have. This is why I love it. It's here. If you want the link to it, here you go. Ask me for it. If you want to get a color match, comment match. That's what I say. Like right here. If you want a color match, comment match. Done. And I have it set up so it'll send you the color match link. And then that's it. I'm not going to come to your messages after that and say, hey, so what did you think? Like, you're a grown-ass woman. Like, you know what I mean? And so if you text me, like if you take that next step and text me your color match or whatever, then I'll respond and say, hey, you know, you texted me, like, how can I help or whatever. But I know it's, Amber, I'm telling you, it's been such a fun, but it's been such a fun opportunity, and I'm grateful for it. But I just, getting out of the car, like getting out of surveillance every day it was a game changer for me. It was life changing. It was something that I never thought I would do. Like I thought I would just be a PI until I died, and I was just like stuck there. And it wasn't until I found Seint and started slinging makeup and started connecting with other women that I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. Like, people actually want to talk to me, and it's really fun. This is the blush and bronzer brush, by the way. These are all creams, you guys. So I use these creams kind of like a powder. I just kind of dust into them like a powder. And then you just kind of tap it on really lightly. So you guys reached to Australia. Tammy, we just announced that we will be global probably by the end of the year. So UK and Australia and Mexico are getting Seint. We don't know any more details than that, but it is coming. Yeah, get the Buffy brush. You'll like the Buffy brush. The blush and bronze is one of my favorites. But anyway, so I don't know. I just feel like when you go to the store or you go to Amazon and you buy a shirt, right? And you tell your friend, like, if she says, hey, I like your shirt. You're like, oh my God, thank you so much. Let me show you where I got it on Amazon. Amazon ain't paying you no dollars. You know what I mean? So like if someone says, hey, I like your makeup, where did you get it? I'm going to be like, oh, I represent this company called Seint as a Seint artist. And this is the one compact makeup. Have you ever heard of it? Like, start a conversation. But it's because we're scared of it. And like, people show their fear of direct sales just because like just like, you know how you hear about a lot of the cops, like, and cops are shooting people and they're going crazy, right? Like, there's a couple that maybe didn't make good decisions, but it doesn't mean all cops are bad, right? Like, so you have people that, just whatever. You go to a restaurant, you have bad service. It doesn't mean every server is bad. It's just sometimes you get like a bad whatever, and sometimes you get a bad direct sales company, but Seint isn't one of them. And I hope sharing Kara's story with you kind of helps you, like, I was talking to the president of Seint the other day, and he reached out because last year Seint's sales went down quite a bit, and they were like, okay, change gears. So I think it seems to me like they were like, okay, let's reach out to some of our top sellers and kind of check the pulse a little bit, see what's going on, what we can do better, so that this isn't a continual trend, right? Which I think is really smart business, right? And one thing he said was that, I said, one thing you could do is, have Kara, the founder of this, like, talk about what her thought process was, and let her connect with these people, right? And like, have her kind of share a little bit more about the product and about the makeup, right? And so he was like, that's amazing. Like, I get what you're saying, but also, there's like a corporate side, like you want to keep it really corporate, like this is a business, but it's like, I don't know. I just kind of feel like if there's more connection and less business, like, obviously it's a bit like you got to do everything. I get it. Like, right. I'm not a business person. I don't know anything about business. I didn't go to school for business. I went to school for like criminal justice and blood and guts. That's what I wanted to do. Right. So I get it. I don't understand fully, but like, if he says that he's the president of the company, so like, whatever he says. Right. But I just feel like that's all this business is about, is just connecting. And so if we just continue to connect with one another, you just create this really safe place for people, especially women, when it comes to makeup. Like, makeup is hard, right? So. Oh, someone's an Ohio State fan. OH. IU. I was an Ohio State fan in college because I had not my roommate. She was my neighbor. She lived in the apartment upstairs from me, and her boyfriend was a huge, like, Ohio fan, and he still is to this day. Is your makeup biz an LLC, or is that route taught at all? I chose to create an LLC because I wanted to make sure, like, any expenses for the business, any makeup or any travel, whatever I had to do for the business, I wanted to make sure to, like, so my tax attorney told me to make it an LLC. And so that I chose to do. A lot of people, I think they don't do that, and they just like write off the expenses on their taxes or whatever. But I think that's between you and like your tax attorney. But I feel like it's not stupid. Like, it's smart. You don't have to pay the self-employment tax. When you put the people first, the numbers will follow. Absolutely. Be relatable. Men have a hard time realizing what women want and don't care about the business. It's true. Like, it's true. Your company has a man that's a president. Yeah. He's known Kara and her husband for a very long time. So obviously he was trusted. But also he's very well versed in like business and this business model. And so he's the right person for the job, I think. So I think that like having someone who's knowledgeable as him is really, really great, just to focus on the business side of things. Right. But at the end of the day, like, what do they say? The man is the head of the family, but we artists are out here, we're controlling the neck, right? So he's the head, but we're the neck, I guess, just to put some fun back into it. But yeah, so he really knows his stuff, and it's interesting, like, to hear the business side of things. But I feel like the company's doing really well. Like, for her saying no to Sephora, like, that's a big deal. Like, you don't say no to Sephora. Can you go to Sephora and say no? I can't. If I go in there, like, I'm buying something. You know what I mean? So, like, but I get it. And she made a good choice, obviously, because now she's, like, a gajillionaire. I know, it would be really cool to hear from her personally. Like, there's a lot of older videos, like, when the branding was mascara, and she created a lot of videos. But now a lot of the artists, we're creating our own videos so we can kind of be the voice for her, and she doesn't have to do that as much. But I would really love to... Thank you so much. I will look at your text and let me screenshot this just to make sure. Anyway, so now we as artists we create our own thing, right? Like, she kind of trusts the artist to kind of do the, to do the work and connect with our particular customers. How do you manage to stay so positive when people online are so negative towards you in the industry? You handle it so well. I don't have time to care. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it hurts my feelings. It really does, because, like, I've gotten called predatory. That sucks. Like, it smarts a little bit, right? And I feel like, my take on that is, if you call me predatory because I'm talking about a direct sales business, right? And I kind of don't want to go into it because I don't want to feed more fuel into the fire, but I kind of feel like I know my heart, and the people that buy makeup from me and the women that sign up under me, they know my heart too. And so I think I can't speak for everyone in this industry, and I'm not going to say that there are any that are bad, but I will say that for me personally, I know my heart, and I know that. And also, I'm very transparent about, I am here on this live because I have a job to do. I have makeup to sell. I want to make a paycheck. When you buy makeup from me, I earn commission. That's not like a secret. You know what I mean? Like, that's not something that's hidden. And so, like, people might argue, like, oh, when you do giveaways, like, you're just that's just sales tactic. Yeah, you take care of your customers and your customers want to come back. Like, yes, that's exactly. And so I feel like it's kind of one of those things where, but you're just using that to make money, like, to make sales. Well, I'm not here for fun. Like, it is fun, but you know what I mean? And so I feel like that's kind of like, yeah, yeah, I guess so. But it's along the lines of, like, selling makeup. You're also building relationships. You're also inspiring people, and with a cool product that makes them feel pretty or whatever. You know what I mean? So, yeah, like, of course. Yeah, it's my job. But at the same time, just like being a PI is my job, right? And I'm like, I could say, like, oh, like, there's people that I've done surveillance for and it didn't turn out really well too, like, for them. And I would, like, send them flowers. Like, oh, you're just trying to earn their business. Like, yeah, they trusted me to do a job. Like, they trusted me with this, whatever it was, this surveillance or whatever. And, it didn't turn out in their favor. And I wanted to show that I cared. So, like, as a human, like, yeah, but also they're going to remember the next time they need a PI, they're going to be like, hey, she was a little bit more expensive than the rest of them because of her experience and her knowledge, but she was worth it and she cared. And so I feel like that's kind of the difference. And that's just me speaking for me. I can't speak for other Seint artists. I can't speak for anybody else. I can just speak for me. But for me personally, everybody said, like, a lot of people tell me, oh my gosh, I've never felt so pretty. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. Women on my team tell me, they're like, gosh, I've never found a sisterhood like that. And you know what? I haven't either. Like, they're saving me. You know what I mean? Like, these customers, they're saving me. Like, I don't, who am I going to, who do I, I'm trying to inspire other people, but they're, like, everybody's inspiring me. Oh, sorry. No, I have not posted them yet. I did, at 9:00, I shut off the thing that I thought, did I shut off the comments? Maybe I didn't. No, I hope I did. Anyways, I will be posting them today, so I'm so sorry. Yeah, so this is the Vanilla Dust setting powder, and you notice I just put like 1,700,000 colors on my brush, and then into my powder it doesn't transfer. And I just put it right there in my T-zone. It's just a little, like, It's just a little, like that blurred kind of look. But everywhere else where I have the cream makeup is just really glowy and pretty. And you guys, if you don't like my makeup, or if you think, oh, that's too much or that's too muddy or whatever, totally do it your own way. Like there is no rules, girl. You don't got to do your makeup like mine. Like, do it however you want. I feel pretty, so I think that's all that matters in this case. But this makeup is really, really versatile. It's for like any age, any skin tone, problematic skin, discoloration, people with acne. So many women say, I need full coverage. You don't need full coverage. Because I can help you cancel out like the discoloration that you need the coverage on. And then most of the time people are like, wait, that's it? I'm like, yeah, that's it. And they're like, oh, I don't need full coverage after all. I'm like, I told you, but I can't say I told you because that's rude. You gotta be nice to your customers. But anyways, so I'm very transparent. If you want information about the artist program, by the way, just comment artist here or whatever, and I'll send you some information. But it's just a really cool place. There's Amanda that you see commenting here, who's never worn makeup a day in her life. She signed up, Amanda, like on the birthday, I think. So like last month, we had an incentive for the artist's birthday. She never wore makeup a day in her life. And now she's a Seint artist. She came to the Love Conference, and she's like, she feels confident. And I said, why did you start wearing makeup? You never wore makeup up till now. Like, what are you doing? She said, I saw your videos, and I felt like I wanted to feel that confidence too. I felt inspired. Cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's so much more than like selling makeup. Do I earn money off of her if she sells makeup? Yeah, I do. Like, that's like, yeah, you earn money, right? But I'm not going to be like, listen, you have to join this freaking company. And if she says no, I'm be like, well, why not? Well, what are you doing? And there was actually, so when I first signed up, there was one of the leaders on my team. I do my makeup with the same products, completely different, still turn. I love how many ways people do their makeup. Like, there's 100 different ways to do it. Stacy, I got you. Amber, I got you. I'll send that over to you. So it was funny because I hate sales. Like, I am like, absolutely not. I don't like it. It's not something that's not the fun part for me, right? So I probably don't do the sales things that they say to do. Well, one of the leaders on my team had hired a business coach, right? And she said it was a sales lady that specialized in sales and stuff in this particular business model. And she said, okay, we're going to have a meeting with this lady. And I like to go to the meetings that if people invite me to a meeting, like a training call, I like self-development. I like to learn new things from new people. And even if I don't agree with it, like, or I don't care about the topic, I'll go just see if I learn something new, right? So I'm like, all right, I'll go, I'll bite, whatever. So we go into this meeting, and the lady is talking about how to do sales. And she said, this is how you do sales, and not so many words, like not verbatim, so please don't quote me, but she said, if someone says no, that's not always no. And I'm like, no is no, literally every single time. Like, I'm thinking this in my head, like, nope, that's pretty much a hard no. And she said, sometimes that's just a delayed yes or something like that. And I'm like, nope, that's pretty much just still a no. Like, that's never means yes. Never, ever, not in any books, not in any thesaurus, dictionary. No never means yes. Not never, not with your body, not with sales, not with anything. No never means yes. And no never means we can assume that later it will be yes, right? No means no. That's probably why I'm bad at sales, whatever. But so anyways, and I was just like screaming in my head, like, no, actually, that means no. She said, so then what you want to do is you want to follow up. If you want to follow up, I think she said 7 times you follow up, right? And you just like basically like keep asking. And I was like, nah, like I'm literally no. And by this time, keep in mind, I'm a top seller in this company, right? I am a top seller, and like top 3. We're talking top 3 in this company for sale, the whole company, right? And she's saying that if someone says no, I need to go back and follow up with them 7 times. I have never done that. Not one time in my life, not one time in this company, not one time have I gone back and said, hey, what about this? Like, if someone texts me for like a color match, and I color match them, and then I don't hear back from them, I might just for customer service be like, hey, I didn't hear back from you. Is everything okay? Do you have any questions? Like, whatever, right? But if you say, no, I don't want to buy the makeup, by this time, like if we're at that point in our conversation, we've probably built a little bit of a relationship. I'm going to honor that. But then I also, I'm going to want to know, like, okay, what was it? Like, was it, was there something, like, did you not like the price or what? Like, I want to find out why, mainly because I'm a private investigator. I want to know everything, but also because you as a consumer, if you have these opinions and you don't like something about the product, that's important to note, because if other people feel the same way, then it's something you can change. Like, you know what I mean? Whatever. So do I follow up? Yeah. But if someone legit tells me no, like, I don't believe in saying, okay, well, we're going to ask them in a week and say, hey, I know I asked you and you said no, but it's like, no, never. I would never do that. Like, imagine yourself with, like, you know how they talk about, like, no means no, mainly when it comes to, like, sexual intercourse, right? So if you say, hey, do you want to have sex with me? And someone says no, no is literally no, right? So think of it in the same way in your mind. If someone says, no, I don't want to buy your product, right? You don't know if them saying no is because they feel violated in that moment. Maybe they feel triggered. Maybe they feel emotionally unstable in that moment because of what you said. Like, you never know. So then to go back later after they've said no and say, like, hey, you said no, but what, like, how about now? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Like, no, we're not doing that. And so I think that's why a lot of people, like, they won't ask me to speak about sales. Like, I'm a top seller here, and nobody wants to ask me to train anybody on sales, because I won't. I'll be like, if they say no, that's it, walk away. But at the same time, if someone tells me no, right, and I find out, like, why they say no, or they might share with me, like, oh, I'm just not, like, I'm unsure about, like, I just don't know what brushes to use, so I just don't want to use this makeup. Then I might make a video that talks about the brushes and how to use them, and post that video, and then say, hey, I made this video in case you find it helpful or whatever. And then maybe they'll, whatever. But I feel like just pushing someone all the time is just, I don't like it. But the conference was always so it's funny because last Saturday, or February the 3rd, I guess it's Saturday the 3rd, we had a conference, and there was it was a company-wide conference, and it was basically like they brought in they had people do some trainings and kind of like, talking about mindset and talking about like the business and stuff like that. But the Friday night before, so there was like 30 of us gathered in Tampa. I rented this huge like mansion, like Airbnb, right, in Tampa. Like 30 girls came, we were all there. And on Friday night, I took the opportunity to connect with the girls, and I trained for 2.5, 3 hours. We did some fun games and, just connected and just had a really great time. Right. And I did some training about, people are scared about showing up in their business, and a little bit of you got to have belief in yourself, all little things, but it was 2.5, 3 hours that we talked about this stuff, and we had legit conversation. I'm training my team on these different things and things that I've learned and sharing with them. Y'all, I want you to know, the very next day for the conference, it was all virtual, right? So we're all gathered together having this big watch party. Everything that all the experts said on the training was literally verbatim what I had trained on the night before. And we all looked at each other and we were like, you could have written this whole conference. And so it was really interesting. And so for someone who has no knowledge and no experience with direct sales, leadership, you guys, as a private investigator, you don't get to lead anybody to do, what do you do? There's no, people can ride along with me and I can give them some tips, but there's no leading, and there's no promotions as a PI. You don't get hey, you're doing a great job, you get a promotion. Promotion to what? All I can do is start charging more for every year I renew my license. You know what I mean? And so for someone who's never had that experience, it was really funny. But I guess the interesting part is that the women on my team were inspired, right? I was if anybody here feels pressured or preyed upon, you are welcome to leave. Nobody is a hostage here. And so I think there is a big stigma behind direct sales, and it makes people scared to sell their product, even if they love it, right? Direct sales is how big? Well, the beauty industry is a $500 billion industry, and it's going to be $800 billion, probably within the next 5 years, right? So it's gonna double or more. So the beauty industry is big. So that's my product, but not even mentioning other direct sales companies like supplements, and just there's organizers, there's direct sales companies, just organizers and day planners, right? Whatever it is, it has a bad reputation. It really does. But at the end of the day, all you can do is show up be yourself and take pride in what you do. But it is really hard when you have, you know, the naysayers of the industry, and they're kind of like, hey, what you're doing is garbage. You know, you're misleading people, you're lying to people. And so one of the artists on my team, she did a video, like a cost comparison. And she was saying, hey, this tin of makeup from Seint is $16, but this bottle of foundation is like $42 or whatever it was, right? And she said $16, $42. So that's the price difference. And then she did the concealer, and this was $16, and this was like $32. And this was, the contour was like, you know, $16, and the contour was like $30, however much it was. And she compared them, and she said it's like $100 savings, whatever. And then someone mentioned, they were like, well, this is not accurate because this is 4 ounces and this is 5 grams or whatever it was, right? But then the difference was the amount of makeup that you use is much less. So she was saying that this less expensive makeup actually lasts me longer than this makeup. And so it was like a whole big thing. And so there's nobody's right. You know what I mean? Like, if you feel like it's predatory to be in direct sales or whatever, like, then you're right. And if you feel like you're not, then you're right. Like, there's no argument. You know what I mean? Like, there's just no argument. So to get back to the original question, like, how do I stay so positive? Like, I've had to do a lot of mindset work, and I've had to work a lot on myself and my confidence. But there's a lot of praying, a lot of just having some faith, but also I have a whole entire folder of screenshots where a woman has messaged me, I've never felt so beautiful. Because of your video today, I showed up. I have artists on my team who have told me, I don't know that I would still be here on this earth if I hadn't found you. Like, if I hadn't found you when I did, I'm not sure that I'd still be here. And these are women who are showing up to the events. These are women who are putting on makeup for the first time. These are women who are finding themselves. Like, if it wasn't for that, like, I don't know if I would be able to handle it. My heart's very soft. And so I just have a whole folder, like slew, probably over 1,000 messages of just small messages where women message me and say, hey, you know, I know you're busy, but I just want to tell you that you're doing a great job. Thank you for showing up. And so no matter what business you're in, like whether you work for Ulta or you're in a direct sales company or just whatever it is, like there's people that need that product, right? Like the business is alive because someone loves that freaking product, right? So sell it, like sell the shit out of it. Do you, boo, you know, like whatever. Anyway, so I just kind of, I don't know. Do you have a book you recommend for mindset? Yes. The one that I'm reading right now is called, I think it's called Get Out of Your Head. And it talks about like, I was just, yes, you never know when you're blessing someone else. Exactly. I was just talking with my team Thursday night on our team meeting, and I was sharing about this. So I'm reading a book called Get Out of Your Head. And it's about like, there's a scripture that says, I don't know it verbatim, Amanda, maybe you can help me, but there's a scripture that says, take every thought captive and hold it obedient to Christ, right? Which it's not like, if you're not religious, it's fine. I happen to be, so it was something that stuck with me, but you can relate it to your business as well if you're not someone who is into the religious thing or whatever. But it said, take every thought captive and make it obedient to Christ. So basically, the whole book is about like taking those thoughts and those toxic, those negative thoughts and making them true. And we all know that because God created us perfect, like what we're saying, those negative thoughts can't be true. So you can't believe a lie and speak the truth at the exact same time, right? So you have to, like, the thought has to change before you can say something true. So the thought has to be true before you can say it, right? And so I thought it was really interesting that like it all has to do with like belief, right? And so you have to train, like your mind is really powerful to the point where even at the conference, like Kara Brooke, the founder of Seint, she was talking about how, and she's actually right. I actually did a whole case study on this in college when I was getting my I almost said my PI degree, my criminal justice degree. Your mind is very powerful. And we just did an episode about Munchausen's on the Dating Detectives podcast, which was incredible. Your mind can make you think that like you're pregnant. Like your mind, if it's enough in your mind, yes, that's it. That's it, Amber. Read that one. Yeah, we destroy arguments and every lofty opinion raised against the knowledge of God and take every thought captive to obey Christ. Yes, thank you. So your mind, if like, for instance, if you let your mind believe solidly enough, like hardcore enough that you're pregnant, your body will start acting like it. Your body will start to appear a little bit more bloated. Like your body will start doing things because the mind is so powerful. But we don't realize how much power the mind has. And so I feel like when it comes to, because I'm someone who, like, I will cry myself to sleep. Like, I've been bullied my whole life for being fat and ugly. I just have. Like, and people look at me and they're like, oh, you can't say that anymore. Like, yeah, I can. That's still my story. Like, I can't change it. Like, I feel like now I'm not as ugly and I've lost a bunch of weight. So maybe that's not true now, but it doesn't change that's what lives in my head, right? What I see in the mirror, like I have body dysmorphia. I don't see my size body. I see a size 24 girl in the mirror. I don't see it. Like my husband's like, where are you going? And I'm like, to the plus size section. He's like, you don't go there. You can't go there anymore. And it's real. It's a real thing. So your trauma is real. Like everything that happened to you in your life is real, right? So that lives in your head. And so you have to train those thoughts to be, you almost have to you have to take that thought and tell it the truth. And when you can train that thought into submission, into the actual truth, which you might not think you know it, but you know the truth. So like they talk about being unlovable, the feeling of worthlessness, and there's one more, and I can't remember what it is, but you fit into your thoughts fit into those three categories, right? And so for me, it's the feeling of worthlessness and feeling unlovable, incapable of being loved. Like my husband, I've been with my husband for 7 years. Like we're going to celebrate our 5-year wedding anniversary. The man treats me like a freaking queen. Like I have never in my life. But to this day, if he brings me flowers, I'm like, what did you do? You cheated on me. Like you're going to divorce me. Like we're breaking up. What is this? Like I can never let that trauma go. Right. And we all do that, like in all different aspects of our life. And many women, especially since I started selling Seint makeup, I've heard women say, I want to buy the makeup, but I'm just not pretty. And I just don't, it's not going to help or whatever. And then those are the same women that reach out to me after they're like, okay, they put their faith in me or do something. I don't know what they do, but they find their belief somewhere and they put on their makeup and they're like, I have never felt so pretty. Like I actually feel really beautiful for the first time in my life. And so no matter what business you're in, no matter what you do, like you can impact someone just by showing up and sharing like what you have or whatever. You know what I mean? 75 pounds. I saw 16 me in the mirror for years before I started seeing the real size 4. Flynn's mama, first of all, congratulations for losing that freaking weight. How long did it take you, looking in the mirror, seeing your bigger body, how long did it take you to actually realize that like you are not that size anymore? Like that body dysmorphia is so freaking real. And it's it's the same with like any sudden change, right? Like anything that's you're just not used to it. Like I'll be honest with you, you're listening to the podcast. Thank you for listening. I want to see it. You have to show me a picture of your quilt when you're done. I want to see it. Just send it to me. Be like, hey, remember me? I was sewing a quilt on your live. That one thing for me was being someone who was, not treated very kindly, and then coming here and selling Seint makeup. And now I have all of these people in my comments just saying the kindest, most loving things. Like, wow, thank you so much. Like you really helped me, do this, or I really learned a lot from that, or I feel so pretty. Thank you for that trick that you taught me, or whatever it is. And like these people, oh my gosh, just you guys are so kind. And it's just like, and my mind is like, no way. And I'm scrolling like, where's the mean comments? Like I look for the mean comments because I expect all of them to be mean because that's just what I'm used to. And then now it's like, there's for every like 1 or 2 naysayers, like they have, listen, if all of us are the same, then none of us can be great, right? So I'm just going to sit over here and be great. You know what I'm saying? I also went from size 24 to a 10. Wow, good for you. I didn't realize that. it's a struggle. Like the video I posted today was just, I was in Torrid the other day with my friend, and I was like, I need to make a video about this because this is so real. Like I shopped at Torrid. I knew my size. I could shop online. I knew what size. I knew what styles would look good on me because that was my comfort store. That's where I went. Everything fit. I knew everything. And now nothing fits me there. It's all too big. Except like some of the t-shirts or whatever, but like, and even those don't like fit the same. And now I have to go shop in like regular stores, and now I have to be like, what size am I? And now, I don't know if you guys remember the video I posted. I was in Las Vegas with my mom. I took my mom and her wife and my husband to Las Vegas for my mom's birthday. And we were in the Levi's store and just kind of shopping at the Las Vegas Mall. And we hit the Levi's store, and I was trying on these jeans, and I tried on the biggest size they had in the store, and it was like a 32 or something, 30, 31, 32, 33, something like that. And I tried it on, and it didn't fit me. And I was devastated, and I was like, fuck this place, man. Like, and this is after I had lost a significant amount of weight, right? I've lost a lot more since then, but, and I was like, gosh, I've even lost weight, and I still don't fit in these stupid damn Levi's. Like, what the heck? Like, I'm never going to be good enough. My body is never going to be good enough for anyone, for any designer, for anything. I couldn't shop in Torrid because those clothes weren't fitting me the way that they did, but now the Levi's didn't fit. And so I was like, I don't know. Like, I don't know where else to shop. All I knew was Levi's was a common jeans brand, right? So anyways, I ended up going to YSL, and I bought a bag. They gave me champagne, and I was like, fine. The jeans don't fit, but the shoes fit, the jewelry fits, the watches fit, the bags fit. Like, we're doing this, right? And so, the other day I went shopping with my friend the day we had gone to Torrid, and we also went to, Dillard's because I was looking for dresses for the, Seint is having a conference in Atlanta in September. And so you need like a gala dress, and I needed a couple dresses. And so we're looking, and I was like, just for shit's sake, let me try on these same Levi's. Because I remember the name of the style, and I put them on, and I was like, fuck you, Levi, like they fit, and they fit so good, and it was even a smaller size, and I was like, I'm so mad. And I was like, I don't know who I'm flipping the bird, like I don't know who I think I am. Like, Levi's don't care. Like, I didn't fit before, but I do now. Like, they still making their money, like they don't care. But I bought the jeans because they fit, and I like them on me, right? But I was still so mad at Levi's. Like, I had to lose all this weight to finally fit your jeans, but now they fit. I was mad, but it was funny. But it just kind of goes like, I had a hissy fit. Like, I was tantruming in the dressing room. Like, I hate Levi's. Like, why? I'm always going to be fat forever and ever. And just, it's so much self-doubt, right? But then you come to a place like this where there's like women who support each other and love each other. And it's just, you're surrounded by kindness. And the only reason that people continue to be mean is because people continue to be mean back, right? That's the only reason. Like, if you shut up long enough, people will hear how stupid they sound. Just shut up. Like, if someone's saying something mean, just shut up. Or say something kind. I always kind of joke about with my mom how when I first broke up with my son's dad, we were getting divorced, and we would have text conversations. That's the only way we communicated was over text, because it was like, you know, everything was documented, whatever, and we weren't getting along really well or whatever. And he was, you know, he would say kind of nasty things to me. Like, he was just really rude, and he was mad at me because I ended the marriage, and he was mad at me. And he would always say mean things over text, and I would just respond very kindly, and I would say, you're right. I'm sorry I made you feel that way, or whatever. Like, I would just say something really kind. And what could he say to that? Like, what could he say to that? Like, what could he say? He couldn't say, like, yeah, I told you. Like, he was just like, oh. So, like, if he continues to, like, be nasty, then, like, you're basically just being mean to be mean. Like, you're not responding, you're not reacting to anything. Now you're just doing it because you're a dick. Like, you know what I mean? So if we all show more kindness to one another, then who's going to be left talking? Just people are just going to be talking to themselves. They're going to be arguing with themselves. And so that's where the kindness comes in. Like, you just show more kindness because we need it, obviously, you know? My mom body shames me without even knowing. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. I've heard a couple people say that their mom has been like, they talk about their body or their weight, and they're like, listen, like, you got to stop. So I'm really sorry that's an awful situation. My mom was always really, like, she was decent to me. Like, growing up, she was like, hey, so I wanted to let you know, like, if you're interested, I got us a gym membership, maybe that's something that, we can start doing, is going to the gym. Or you know, hey, I'm really, as I got into college, and she was like, I'm just concerned about your weight, and I just want to, you know, find out how I can support you or whatever. And but that's really hard. Like, how do you talk to your kid about that, you know? But sometimes it's like, I don't know, people say mean things about you, and you're like, you think I don't know? Like, you really think I don't know? Like, you just needed to point that out. And then my friend told me the other day, she posted a Post-it on my computer, and I didn't see it until later, and she said, oh, damn it, now what did it say? It said, people who, like, don't pay attention to their own feelings are certainly not going to they're certainly not going to care about yours. Like, if they don't acknowledge their own feelings, they're not going to give a crap about yours. So it's like, you just kind of, I don't know, you just got to pray for them. Anyway, so I guess that's it. I guess thank you for doing lashes with me. If you want a discount link to my Lashify, like the discount link to whatever, just comment lashes here and I can send you the link so that you get a discount on those. If you want more information on this is the extra long barrel bioionic. I can send you the link to this too. So if you have super long hair, this one has been a game changer. I love the Lange. I even represent Lange. Like, I'm an affiliate with Lange. But this one is just so much better for the length. So I really love that. The book is called Get Out of Your Head. Amber just posted it up there. Get Out of Your Head. Something about stop spiraling with like toxic thoughts or something. But I think it's called Get Out of Your Head. And there's others that I'll share with you guys that I've been really, Gap in the Gain is a good one. Like, if you're someone, thank you, Amber, Get Out of Your Head, Stopping the Spiral of Toxic Thoughts. It's really, and it's not like super long. There's another one it's called The Gap in the Gain. And if you are someone who struggles with like not feeling like you're doing enough or not feeling like you're being enough, Gap in the Gain was really good because a lot of people talk about it for their business, but I talk about it for like my personal self-doubt. Like, I talk about, oh my gosh, I lost only 2 pounds. Oh my God. Right. And it's like my husband, I even told my husband about my husband never read the book. I just told him about it. He's like, are you living in the gap or are you living in the gain? So the gap is where we are like not like where we're not there yet. Right. So if you're at 0 for whatever you're doing and you want to get to like 100, the gain is how far you've come. So even if you've only taken one step, that's a gain, right? This gap from that 1 to 100, that doesn't matter. That's not important. Like that's we'll get there eventually. Yes, The Gap in the Gain, The High Achiever's Guide to Happiness, Confidence, and Success. Yes. I did that one all by audiobook. I didn't read that one, and it was really good to listen to. I did it I think it was on Audible. I used one of my credits on Audible. Yes. Favorite book besides scripture. If we're talking favorite book of all time, the like nonfiction fiction, nonfiction. If we're talking fiction, anything by Janet Ivanovich, like Stephanie Plum, hello, her character was insane. Like, she was a female bounty hunter, and she's like my absolute favorite author of all time, best books. She has like One for the Money, too, and and now she's up to like 31. I've been reading her since like high school, and I absolutely love her. But I'll share these books. And there's also, there's a couple more that I really liked. I can't think of the names of them. I haven't started them yet, but I've been picking up little books here and there to kind of like, I don't know. I think I need to challenge myself to read a little bit more and get out of my head. So, the book by, what's her name? But it's called You Are a Badass. Read that book. It's so good. Like, it is like, you're reading that book and you're going, hell yeah, I am. Damn right, I sure am. Like, it's a really good book. I sent it as a Christmas gift to some of the ladies on my team just to kind of like remind them like, hey, you're kind of a baddie. So like, You Are a Badass is a really good book. There's an old version, but then there's an updated version. The updated version has like more in it. So get that one. And then another one that really helped me was something about comparison. I had a hard time, You Are a Badass, How to Stop Doubting Your Greatness and Start Living an Awesome Life. Yes, that one. I had a hard time with, like, I found myself looking at other people's weight loss journey or other Seint artists and comparing myself to them like, why can't I just be where they are? Like, why can't I just do what they're doing? Or why can't whatever? And these are like I am someone who, like, I would compare myself to, like, their videos, and, like, everybody tells me all the time, like, your videos are so fun, they're engaging, whatever, and I would still look at other people and go, oh, their videos are so good, like, I don't have my own, like, you never know when someone's looking at you going, hey, that's pretty good, like, I really like her, you know? So I struggled with comparison, and this book is called Killing Comparison by Nona Jones, and this is really well written. It's called Killing Comparison. And she talks about her life and like how her trauma in her childhood kind of created this like self-doubt, which created this like comparison. And this was really good. This was another one I listened to on Audible. I didn't read it, but I really loved. She actually narrates this. Like she actually narrates it. And then there's The Power of One More by Ed Milet, which is like kind of the concept of just like, if I can just do one more rep in the gym, or one more minute on the treadmill, or, you know, respond to like one more customer, or do one more video or whatever. And then that you never know when that one more could be like the one thing that was it. You know what I mean? So you just never know how that one more is going to be it. And then I have a lot of Colleen Hoover because those were recommended. The Freedom of Self-Forgetfulness, which I thought was really interesting. I wanted to read that. Be Where Your Feet Are is another good one. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Atomic Habits, did I say that? And then the rest are fiction. Hold on. Where is this one? Let me find hold on. This is I can't find a thing for it, but it's called The Freedom of Self-Forgetfulness. And I don't know. I think that's a Christian book. But anyways, there's a ton that I've really been loving, the like self-development situation, and my spirit feels really good about it. So I don't know. You stay positive because people need you to be, you know? Anyways, okay, so you guys enjoy your Saturday. Oh, wait, have you read the series by Fern Michaels, who has a group of women who serve out retribution? They're not as funny as the Janet Ivanovich, but they're also... No? Ooh, I'm screenshotting that. Oh, I want to look into that. Janet Ivanovich was like my hero. Like, she's like my favorite author. Like, they're not like devastatingly like astute, like very like well worldly, but they're really good freaking books. Like that's my language. Like I don't speak that like thee thou those stuff. Like I can't handle it. Remembering Him. No, I haven't. I've read like there's a couple that I've read, but I haven't read that one. Anyways, thank you guys so much for spending time with me. Oh, also, if you want to color match, just comment match here. And I have the thing set up. So if you comment match, it sends you a message that I set up that says, hey, here's the color match, whatever. When you do my color match form, it basically sends it to my text message. And it says, hey, so-and-so wants to get color matched. And then I look at your picture and I choose all the different colors for you and create like a shopping list for you. And I send it back to you on your text and your email. And then once you get that back, then you can text me or email me or whatever, send a carrier pigeon, as I like to say, and just say, hey, I have questions, or hey, like, how do I do this, or just whatever, like, just text me. You guys, it's not a robot. It's me. It's really me. Anyways, I love you guys so much. Thanks for spending the day with me. And Sarah, how are you just now going to come here? Like, I've been on here for like 7 hours, not 7, like 3 hours. It's been a long time. My mom's coming in. Y'all, we're done. I've done my lashes, my hair, my makeup, and y'all are just showing up. You're late to the party. It's fine. Anyways, I love you guys so much. I hope you have a wonderful day and enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Bye.